Chapter 51. So far, the treasure chest has been found quite smoothly. There are basically no obstacles and it can be opened. Feng touched it immediately. Snap! You opened a blue treasure box. Congratulations on getting 13,000 cards of blood. It is indeed a blue treasure chest, directly bursting out more than 10,000 blood. It's been a while since the last time I raised my blood. At that time, after the improvement, the total qi and blood volume was 11,000. During this period of time, Feng also found time to practice when he had nothing to do. With the terrifying blessing of the martial arts holy body, even through practice, the improvement is very fast, with an increase of 1,000 calories. Therefore, before fusion, there were already 12,000 cards. Merge. Huge energy of qi and blood merged crazily into Feng's body, and qi and blood continued to soar. It has skyrocketed so much in a short period of time, more than doubling, but there is no discomfort at all, just the feeling of pleasure brought about by the sudden increase in strength. By the end, Feng's total energy and blood reached an astonishing 25,000 calories. Above 18,000 and below 27,000, it belongs to the peak of military commanders. In other words, the realm of a Qi blood warrior has risen to 3 minor realms from the early stage of a warrior to the peak of a warrior. It is very close to the king of martial. You only need to add 2,000 more cards to advance to the early stage of king of martial. For example, the current soul master realm has 27,000 points of soul power, which is comparable to the early king level. By the way, whether you are a warrior or a soul master, the required values are the same. The corresponding values for the 4 small realms of the king level are 27,000, 36,000, 45,000, and 54,000. Suddenly at this moment, a new treasure chest prompt appeared. Treasure box clue, Stone Monkey Mountain, a blue, high-quality, treasure box appears. Please go and open it. Not bad. Feng smiled. As soon as I opened a treasure chest and advanced myself to several small realms, a new treasure chest came. It's also blue, with the suffix exquisite. It can produce 2 items at a time, one is worth 2. This treasure chest is really one after another. Feng is looking forward to what he can come up with this time. I'll open it later. As for now. Feng looked ahead and saw a large pile of star-patterned iron ore. If you sell them all, you can get a good price. Don't give it up for free, you must take it away. The only trouble is that the ore is too heavy to move all at once. And dividing it into many trips is very unrealistic. Feng couldn't help but think, it would be great if there was a storage magic weapon like the one in the novel that could collect all the things at once. It has to be of a large size, otherwise it won't be able to hold too much. Thinking back on it, Feng knew that such a thing was impossible at present. Maybe it will happen in the future, but not necessarily. Feng has actually already thought about how to deal with minerals. He dialed a number. And only choose voice calls, no video calls. After 3 beeps, the other party connected. Hey, who's there? A rough male voice came from the opposite side. I have a lot of star pattern iron ore here, do you want to take it? Feng said straight to the point. How big is the pile? The other party asked. Feng sent him a photo directly. So many. The other party was slightly surprised. Where is the location and where did it come from? He asked questions smoothly and was obviously very skilled in his business. The location. Feng sent him a coordinate. How about it? Do you dare to accept it? The other party fell into silence. It seems that he knows what this place represents and has done a good job in intelligence. In our line of business, there is no question of whether you dare or not, only whether the price is suitable. He said aloud. Then how much do you think is appropriate? Feng asked. The total is 9 million, and the highest price can only be this. After all, it belongs to the Zhang family. The risk of collecting these is still very high. After some weighing, he announced the price. 10 million, an integer. Feng bargained. 9 million is not a round number, he complained. Obviously he didn't agree with the counter-offer. You are not the only one who dares to accept this batch of black goods. Feng said coldly. The meaning is self-evident, if you don't accept it, others will accept it. Okay, within an hour, someone will arrive there and transport the goods. The money and goods will be cleared by then. He gritted his teeth and agreed. Then he added in a cold voice, but the ugly words are ahead. You'd better not be kidding me. Otherwise, we are capable of doing this, and there are experts behind us. Well, don't worry. Ye Feng hung up the call. The person I just found is an order taker from an organization called Black Gloves. Their organization specializes in collecting illegal goods. It can be understood as a black market for door-to-door delivery. They put small advertisements everywhere on the internet, and Ye Feng could find the contact information with a casual search. There are many organizations of this type. We chose Black Gloves because they are well-known, powerful, and have a good reputation. There is no such thing as gangsters and betrayal of customers. The most important thing is to dare to accept hard goods. Like the pile of ore in front of you, the original owner belonged to the Zhang family, so it was considered hard goods. If you didn't have any ability, you really didn't dare to get involved. Ye Feng did not stay in the mine, but came outside. I found a place in the distance with a good view and high concealment to stay. It has to be said that the Black Gloves are efficient. In just half an hour, a team of people arrived. There were about 20 people in total, pulling several animal carts. This kind of beast cart is a huge carriage, pulled by iron-hoofed beasts. The iron-hoofed beast is also a strange beast. It looks like a cow or a horse, has a strong body and good endurance. It has a fairly docile personality and can be tamed, making it very useful for hauling goods. Good boy. Have you killed them all? The people in this team smelled the strong smell of blood upon arrival. At the entrance of the mine, 2 bodies fell there. They had seen a lot of people killing people and stealing goods, but it was rare that they dared to attack a family as powerful as the Zhang family. You 2 are on guard outside here. If anyone approaches, you must notify them in time. The leader assigned 2 people to watch from outside. Yes. The 2 of them responded, immediately wary of any movement in the distance. The leader took the remaining people into the mine. Everywhere he passed were corpses. Dead, really all killed. Boss, who is this fierce person? He is so strong that he actually killed the Zhang family's property. A strong team member looked at the corpses and exclaimed. I don't know. You should stop asking. In our line of work, we don't ask about the customer's identity. Yes, yes, the leader taught me a lesson. Soon, they found the designated cave. Hurry, move everything outside and load it into the car. The leader ordered. Everyone got busy. They are all warriors, very strong, and can carry a lot in one trip. In addition to the large number of people, it only took 10 minutes to move all the minerals inside, and the carriage of the animal cart was filled to the brim. The leader made a phone call. Everything goes well here. The goods have been loaded and ready to leave. The quantity and type of goods are all right. Well, I understand, you should evacuate immediately. The call ends. The convoy hit the road and began to evacuate. Ye Feng noticed a phenomenon. One of their people was responsible for cutting off the back, spraying a liquid while walking. The liquid is colorless and odorless, almost like water. After it is sprayed like water mist, it is basically invisible that it has been sprayed. Really professional. Ye Feng, who has studied detailed explanation of raising goo, also has some understanding of tracking bugs such as sniffing bugs. It is mentioned that some means can be used to cover up or eliminate the smell left by oneself, which will greatly increase the difficulty of tracking the sniffing bugs. The liquid they sprayed was probably this type of method. Hey? Has the payment arrived? Chapter 52. Ye Feng had already sent the payment account number to the other party, and now he received a transfer reminder. No more, no less, 10 million yuan. Ye Feng's net worth has increased from more than 10 million to more than 20 million. The order taker I just contacted called now. The money has been sent. You should have received it, right? Received. It's a pleasure to cooperate. If there is any goods next time, I hope we can continue to cooperate. Can. Ye Feng hung up the phone. Condensation. The demon-breaking spear appeared. Ye Feng stepped on the magic gun, rose to the sky, and followed the arrow to move towards the next blue treasure box. Stone Monkey Mountain. Ye Feng chose on the name of this place. The clue just now suggested that the treasure chest is there. During this period of time, when Ye Feng learned that he needed to come to the secret realm of the treasure mine, Ye Feng was interested in learning about this secret realm. The characteristics of this secret realm are that it is very rich in minerals, but there are no plants at all, so there will be no animals living in it. For example, when humans stay here, they bring their own food. Every time the secret realm is opened, they carry out supplies and stock up enough food to eat and drink for the next more than a month. Wild animals also need food, but everywhere is bare. Is it possible to let them eat rocks? If the conditions do not allow it, no living thing can be born. Don't tell me. Wherever there is water and soil, you can raise an animal. Each secret realm has its own characteristics. For example, the green secret realm is a paradise for plants, so demonized plants appear. In the secret realm of the treasure mine, a strange beast was born that specialized in eating stone minerals. Collectively called stone beasts. Stone ape beasts are a species of stone beasts. They look like apes, but their bodies are made of hard stone. Such a life feels strange just thinking about it. They like to carve out many internal spaces in a mountain, like a maze or an ant nest, and make their home inside. Stone Monkey Mountain refers to a mountain where there are activities of stone monkey beasts. It is said that there is a crystal nucleus in the body of the stone beast, which is a high-quality mineral. It can be understood that part of the various minerals we eat are absorbed and grown by the body. Part of it is stored to upgrade the crystal core and become stronger, which is also their life core. Such a magical species, even if there is no treasure chest over there, Ye Feng is still very interested and goes over there to take a look. Ye Feng's figure disappeared into the distant sky. After Ye Feng left, it took a while. A convoy, led by a King Wu, gradually approached the mine. What's going on? Why does it smell like blood? From a distance, King Wu's keen sense of smell smelled the smell of blood, and he immediately felt something was wrong. But he was also lucky, feeling that few people would be brave enough to covet the Zhang family's property. After so many years, it has been very peaceful. Maybe, there happened to be a fight nearby? After all, it is a public place, and anyone can come to the secret realm of the treasure mine. As long as it is not too close to the mine, it cannot be controlled so wide. Someone was passing by nearby and was beaten to a bloody head in that conflict, which is understandable. It was only when I got closer that I could clearly see the entrance to the mine. The leader of the team, King Wu, suddenly shrank his pupils. At the entrance of the mine, 2 corpses were lying on the ground, with blood flowing all over the ground. Who did it? Dare to kill members of my Zhang family. Touch my Zhang family's property. Zhang Fu was extremely angry, and his eyes were about to burst out with fire. Every time the treasure mine secret realm is opened, the minerals accumulated for a month need to be transported back. The person sent by the Zhang family to take charge of this matter this time was King Wu Jiangfu. Who would have thought that after the convoy arrived, they would see the scene before them? Not only Zhang Fu was furious, but the other Zhang family members who were traveling with him were also furious. Come in with me and take a look. Zhang Fu took the lead and led everyone, holding their own weapons, to rush into the mine with great momentum. They hoped that the murderer was still inside at this time and could be blocked by them. Of course, it didn't work out as expected. Along the way, there were still corpses besides corpses. Damn it! Even the minerals have been looted. Zhang Fu clenched his fist and hit the nearby cave wall hard. With a bang, gravel flew out and a big crater was created. Could it be those old rivals who did it? It makes sense. The Sun family is the most suspect. Their relationship with our Zhang family has been very tense recently. Others in the group were aggrieved and speculated aloud. Unlikely. Zhang Fu shook his head and explained, whether it's the Sun family or other families, they are not that confused. Unless the relationship is completely broken and has reached the point of breaking out, they will not do this. Because they understand clearly that if they FK us today, we will do it back tomorrow. Their properties are no less than ours. There are also mineral veins being mined here in the treasure mine secret realm. If you keep doing it over and over again, you will end up hurting both sides and giving other competitors an opportunity to take advantage. What Zhang Fu said made sense. But the question comes again, who did it? If you miscalculated, you should bring a goo master over and use sniffing insects to look for traces. Zhang Fu didn't expect that such a thing would happen. I had no choice but to contact the Zhang family and explain the situation to them. When they got the news, they were naturally furious and immediately convened a high-level meeting. Last time Zhang Mingxian was killed, the murderer has not been found yet, and now something like this happened again, making them even more angry. Both of these things must be done before the head of the house comes out of seclusion. Otherwise, the head of the house will be angry and you and I will not be able to bear it. Many Zhang family elders gathered in one hall, their faces solemn. Finally, they sent another team to investigate, including goo masters. But the result left them disappointed. The other party has used means to remove the smell. Looking at the sniffing bug like a headless fly, the Gu master shook his head. If the incident has just happened, even if you use methods to remove the smell, it will not disappear so quickly. But now, the time has been delayed for too long, and there is no remaining breath at all, making it completely impossible to trace. When the Zhang family was in dire straits, Ye Feng arrived at his destination, Stone Monkey Mountain. Looking around, it is a huge mountain, the whole is grey-white, like a marble mountain. Many holes have been dug out at various locations in the mountain, leading to the interior of the mountain. From time to time, a stone ape beast would wander out of a certain cave. Their bodies are made of stones, just like an ape made of stone. They look dull and a bit tiger-headed. Bang! A certain stone ape beast hit a nearby rock wall with a punch, causing a lot of gravel to fall. It picked up a few pieces, put them in its mouth, and started chewing them. What a strange life! Chapter 53. Ye Feng glanced at the arrow on the ground, guided him all the way forward, and finally entered a certain cave entrance. There is no other way but to break in, find the treasure chest and open it. Ye Feng approached. The stone ape beast that was eating stones noticed Ye Feng's approach and turned around to look over. The half-eaten stone in his hand was aimed at Ye Feng and he smashed it. Ye Feng dodged the stone attack with a slight dodge. Bang bang bang! It came in long strides, looking very cumbersome, and the ground made a loud bang with every step it took. The arm like a stone pillar quickly hit Ye Feng. Clang! Ye Feng held a knife to resist, and the collision caused sparks to fly. It also started smashing with its other hand. Ye Feng took a step back to avoid the attack. After a few tests, Ye Feng had a rough understanding of the specific strength of the stone ape beast in front of him. According to the strength of the alien beasts, this stone ape beast is at the warrior level. If humans want to deal with it, they must at least be in the martial arts realm. Their bodies are very strong, and it would be difficult for an ordinary martial artist to defeat them. Even though they are relatively bulky, their powerful bodies and powerful attacks can only cause limited damage to them. But now, its opponent is Ye Feng. Whoosh! Ye Feng raised his knife and lowered it. The stone ape beast in front of him was chopped into two halves, with neat and smooth cuts. Strong body? It also depends on who is attacking. After the stone ape beast was cut in half, a cylindrical object fell out of its head, with a light yellow color. Is this the crystal core? Ye Feng leaned over, picked up the crystal core, and observed it in his hand. It does feel more condensed than other minerals, without any impurities. If used to refine equipment, the quality will be improved a lot. The sound of fighting here attracted all the stone ape beasts nearby. They also followed Ye Feng with thumping footsteps. The sword flew in Ye Feng's hand, the shadow of the sword transformed, and the stone ape beasts were all split into two. They are all at the sergeant level and have obtained a total of 15 crystal cores. The value of these soldier-level stone beast crystal nuclei should not be low. And if you kill a higher-level stone ape beast and obtain a higher-level crystal core, it will be more valuable. There were not many stone ape beasts outside, and they were not very strong. Ye Feng walked towards the mountain. The main purpose of coming here is to open the treasure chest. Even if you want to kill the stone monkey, wait until you finish opening the treasure chest. Enter the mountain. So many forks in the road. Ye Feng discovered that if he walked forward on one path, after a while, it could separate into two paths, and after walking for a while, they would continue to separate. If this continues, the mountain roads inside are intricate, like a huge maze. But no matter how you divide it, it's fine. Ye Feng just looks for the arrow and walks. Along the way, whenever you encounter a stone ape beast, you will hit it with a knife, and you will pick up more and more crystal cores. These stone ape beasts all feel dull. Except for their stiff bodies, they are otherwise fine. Even if there are several of them together, they don't know how to fight as a team. Killing them with one sword is still relatively simple. Of course, the most important reason is that Ye Feng is so powerful that he can crush him directly. It's the rank of sergeant. Can't we have a few generals to play with? Ye Feng actually disliked the poor strength of the stone monkey beast. If you have a general level, you can get a general level stone beast crystal core, which is more valuable. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be anyone with higher strength among them. When Ye Feng moved forward inside, deep in the beast mountain, in a huge space, hundreds of general level stone ape beasts were engaged in a huge melee. They are actually in a civil war. The fighting was extremely fierce, with gravel flying. Bang! One of the largest ones fought particularly bravely, and its combat power was one level higher than the others, giving it a clear advantage. The other stone ape beasts around, perhaps realizing that this beast posed the greatest threat, deliberately gathered together and surrounded one of them. Bang! Bang bang bang! The big stone ape beast didn't panic at all. With every punch, one of its companions fell down. Some were hit in vital parts, their heads were smashed, and the crystal cores fell out. The big stone ape picked them up and swallowed all the crystal cores. The big man fought more and more fiercely, killing dozens of people around him. Boom! Due to absorbing the crystal nuclei of many companions, the big man's size increased dramatically, from the original 3 meters to 5 meters. Its realm has also broken through from the general level to the king level. At this moment, the king was born. All the general level stone ape beasts did not dare to take action anymore. They all knelt down and surrendered to their king. Click, click, click. The king beast opened and closed its mouth, making a clicking sound like the collision of hard objects. This sound has a unique penetrating power and is transmitted all the way along the mountain roads. Wherever he passes, whatever happens in the mountain path will be noticed by the king beast. This is an ability that was born after it became the king of the group. And that's not all. There was a certain amount of chance in its birth. In the past, it had low intelligence, had no brute strength, and did not know how to cooperate. Now its IQ is much higher than before. Through the propagation of sound, it can detect the situation of a large area around it at any time, and can also command the stone ape beasts scattered everywhere. The stone ape beasts everywhere can be regarded as its limbs, and it is the brain of the group, giving orders. Hooray! The surrounding general level stone ape beasts seem to have received orders and ran towards various mountain roads. Their target is Feng. During the recent investigation, the king beast had discovered that a human had broken into their home and killed many stone ape beasts. Feng on the mountain road continues to move towards the arrow. Suddenly I noticed something strange behind me. Turn around suddenly. A stone ape beast approached Feng with cat-like steps. The intention is very obvious, it is to get close and sneak attack. Feng suddenly turned around and discovered that it froze and retreated without hesitation, trying to take advantage of the terrain to escape. Seeing this scene, Feng was surprised. The ones I encountered before were all very stupid. They would only fight hard until they died, but they didn't know how to escape at all. Whoosh! Feng exerted force under his feet, his body was like an arrow leaving the string, and he caught up with the stone ape beast in a few seconds. The same knife struck him directly. Nothing special, just took out a crystal core. Continue on your way. The stone ape beasts encountered next were all different from before. Know how to assess the situation and how to work as a team. It's as if their IQs have suddenly become higher. They even encountered general level stone ape beasts one after another. The grade crystal core will be darker in color. Is there anyone in charge? Only in this way can their transformation back and forth be explained. But no matter how it changes, in front of Feng, everything is the same. After a while, the stone ape beast was never encountered again. Kill them all. Feng muttered. I don't think it's the case. It's more like, knowing that they are no match, the commander lets them hide. Feng quickened his steps and reached the depths of the mountain. What a big space! In the huge mountain space, the much larger stone ape king beast stood there quietly, seemingly waiting for Feng to arrive. In Feng's eyes, this special stone ape beast had a blue light shining in its chest. Treasure chest. Chapter 54. Another movable treasure chest. But you, a stone ape beast, will not be polite to you. Demon breaking gun. Ning. Feng's trick was to use the Soul Master's ability directly to condense the demon breaking gun. Call out. The spear turned into a stream of light and shot away. Such a fast attack shocked the king beast. The situations it had detected before were all Feng attacking with a knife. Judging from the previous attack power, it thought it could kill Feng, so it would let Feng come over with peace of mind. Who would have thought that the attack Feng is launching now is something it has never seen before, and its power is much stronger. The situation was urgent, so it dodged, and its movements were quite agile. Knowing that it could not completely dodge, it raised its hands to actively resist. Bang! The powerful power hit its arm. I thought it would be smashed to pieces in an instant, but unexpectedly, there were only a few cracks. What a strong defense! What Ye Feng is using now is the ability of a soul master, and its power is incomparable to that of a warrior. Despite this, it can only be injured. Compared with the previous stone ape beasts, they are not on the same level at all. In this case, use the soul skills as well. Immediately, the demon-breaking gun was covered with a layer of blood red, and both its attack power and attack rate of fire were stronger than before the soul skill was used. Bang bang bang! Several attacks hit the same point, exceeding the endurance limit. The right arm used by the king beast to block was shattered and scattered on the ground. Hey! Ye Feng said softly. I saw the broken pieces suddenly flying upward as if being summoned. The severed arm of the king beast was as if a powerful magnet had been installed, absorbing all the fragments back and reassembling them, intact as before. This repairability is truly unparalleled. This did not happen when fighting other stone ape beasts. It can only be said that this special king beast has extraordinary abilities. Click, click, click. Although the broken arm has been repaired, the king beast is still very angry, and its mouth opens and closes rapidly to express its anger. It rushed towards Ye Feng quickly, and its speed was not cumbersome at all. If its opponent is just an ordinary martial king, it will be easy to win. It's a pity that the opponent is Ye Feng. Ye Feng mobilized his soul power and launched another fierce attack. His blood-red spear, with infinite power, continuously attacked and killed the king beast. The sturdy body of the king beast was shattered piece by piece. With the final blow, it finally couldn't resist, and its head was shattered by one blow. The crystal core inside fell out. The blue treasure chest hidden in the body of the stone ape king also fell to the ground and could finally be opened. Ye Feng walked over and touched the treasure box. Snap! You opened a blue, high-quality, treasure box. Congratulations on getting the 4th level martial arts Swift Shadow Heavenly Sword, Perfect Enlightenment, Yunsang Vine Rapid Nutritional Supplement, first 4 stages, finally gave me a martial arts book. The last time I launched a martial skill, it was at the 2nd level, but now it has jumped directly to the 4th level. My current strength is not that of a martial king, so I should be able to perform 4th level martial arts, right? Ye Feng immediately performed the fusion, and the perfect understanding of the instant Shadow Heavenly Sword was integrated into Ye Feng's mind. Ye Feng moved, waving the sword in his hand, and the shadow of the sword flew. In an instant, the layers of knife shadows transformed into a sharp blow, striking the cave wall in front of them. Bang! The hard stone wall was immediately cut with a knife mark that was several meters long and bottomless. Good sword skills. Ye Feng understood clearly. The characteristic of this instant sword is that it is fast. The sword is quick. The power is sharp. Although the name does not contain the word wind, it is definitely a wind martial skill. Wind martial arts are all about the word quick. At the level of a military commander, it is completely feasible to use this 4th level martial skill. Because the distance to the king of martial arts level is fast, and the total amount of chi and blood is there, it is impossible to feel strenuous. Another thing, Yunsang Vine Rapid Nutritional Supplement, first 4 stages. In fact, there are 4 parts of this thing, all of which are liquid and green in color, and are placed in 4 porcelain bottles. There are logos written on the bottle, from 1 to 4. As the name suggests, it is a nutrient that can make Yunsang Vine grow rapidly. Allowing it to absorb the first bottle will allow it to grow to the limit of the first stage in a short period of time. Then let it absorb the second bottle, and it will break through to the second stage, and continue to grow to the limit in the subsequent time. By analogy, until the 4th stage, you have a total of 4 vines, and your combat power is comparable to that of the king of martial arts. This is good stuff. Originally, I was worried that it would take a long time for Yunsang Vine to grow up, and it would not be able to keep up with my progress in becoming stronger. Now, with this instant nutrient, it can help Yunsang Vine grow to the 4th stage quickly in a short period of time. Ye Feng quickly opened the first porcelain bottle, and the liquid inside had a pleasant fragrance. The Yunsang Vine wrapped around his right arm smelled it, and he was so excited that he followed Ye Feng's arm and got closer to the porcelain bottle. Enter and absorb as much as you can. When you reach the limit of the first stage, I will change the nutrient solution for you. Yunsang Vine entered the porcelain bottle at its smallest size and absorbed it quickly. Ye Feng put all the bottles and cans into his tactical backpack. Just when Ye Feng wanted to, he picked up the nearby king beast crystal core. Swish swish! On the surrounding ground, the fragments of the king beast's smashed body were still trembling, with a tendency to gather towards the crystal core again. Ye Feng had quick eyes and quick hands and collected the crystal core directly. This king beast crystal core is even bigger, darker, and golden. What a tenacious vitality! Ye Feng noticed that there was a life energy in the crystal core, indicating that the king beast was not dead yet. If you put it back into pieces of corpses, it will probably be able to gather together and be reborn. Just as Ye Feng was preparing to erase the life energy from the crystal core, the crystal core actively released a golden thread, which was also composed of energy. It can be felt that this energy is full of kindness and surrender. It was afraid and succumbed to Ye Feng. Since you want to surrender to me, then I will reluctantly accept it. Ye Feng said this, but he was quite happy in his heart. This guy has extremely strong body defense and can be reassembled even if broken into pieces. It is really not something that ordinary people can deal with. Ye Feng condensed a trace of soul power and touched it with the golden energy, and the two parties successfully formed a contract. These operations are the life contracts released by the Stone Ape King Beast by voluntarily surrendering. After the contract was successful, it became Ye Feng's pet beast and could never be betrayed. Even if Ye Feng wanted it to commit suicide, it must do so. No matter how far the distance is, Ye Feng can completely erase his consciousness with just one thought. This is the horror of the life contract, which is completely under the control of the owner. Unless absolutely necessary, no species will be willing to surrender to others and establish a life contract. Now that the contract was successfully formed and it became a 100% loyal pet, Ye Feng let it reorganize its body. After putting the crystal core back, the surrounding broken corpses began to tremble with increasing amplitude. Finally, they gathered around and reassembled the pieces, forming the appearance of the Stone Ape King Beast again. Although it can be reorganized, it can be seen that after all this trouble, it has been greatly damaged, and it looks a bit weak. These are the crystal nuclei of your companions, can you absorb them? Ye Feng handed the crystal core he obtained previously to the Stone Ape King Beast. It immediately took it, started eating one piece at a time, and quickly ate them all. Its condition has indeed improved. You can really eat it. However, if you keep the crystal core, you will only sell it for money. Restoring the Stone Ape King Beast's state is actually more valuable. Ye Feng looked at the stone lump and thought about how to arrange it. If you take it out, will you follow me around from now on? Otherwise, if you let it roam freely outside, it will definitely be besieged as a scourge. But it would be more appropriate to leave it here. There are minerals everywhere here, which are all nutrients for their growth. They can continue to eat and become stronger. That's right. Minerals. Ye Feng suddenly had a flash of inspiration and showed an evil smile. Chapter 55. Ye Feng looked at the Stone Ape King Beast. You like all kinds of minerals, right? Click, click, click. As long as you like it, I will give you some locations next. You can command the Stone Ape Beast to loot those mineral veins. Half of the harvested minerals will be rewarded to you and the other half will be handed over to me. Crack, click, click. The Stone Ape King nodded fiercely. Ye Feng made a call, and a rough male voice came from the other party, are you going to have business again so soon? The person contacted was still the order taker from Black Gloves. I feel like your information is good. You should be able to find out all the locations of the Zhang family's mineral industry in the treasure mine secret realm, right? Ye Feng asked directly. Yes, yes, but why are you asking? The other party had actually vaguely guessed Ye Feng's intention. I still think it's a bit unbelievable. Looting a Zhang family mine is crazy enough. Listening to this tone, are you afraid that they will all be looted? That would offend the Peijiang family. There are still many strong men in the Zhang family, including many martial sects and even martial masters. You make a price and I buy this information. Do you want to do this business? Ye Feng said. 1 million. The other side was also unambiguous. Okay, deal. Ye Feng readily agreed. A piece of information is sold for 1 million, which sounds very expensive, but collecting information is very troublesome. Without a strong intelligence department, Ye Feng would not be able to understand the distribution of the Zhang family's industries in a short period of time. Since you want to do something big, you must understand it clearly. As long as the work is done, there is no need to worry about money at all. A lot of minerals can be sold, and 1 million is nothing. Ye Feng directly hit 1 million. The other party also quickly sent Ye Feng all the coordinates of the Zhang family's mineral veins. There are so many, more than 30 places. It's good to have information. The specific coordinates and mineral types of each place are clearly written. Ye Feng had to admire that Black Glove's intelligence department was really well informed. But those who work in their profession must do this, otherwise if they offend someone they must not offend and receive something they shouldn't, it will be over, and the entire organization will probably be uprooted. Next, teach the Stone Ape King beast how to find its way. Fortunately, its IQ is not low and it can learn quickly. After testing it several times, assigning it a coordinate, it can accurately reach the coordinate position. How many Stone Ape beasts are there now? Ye Feng asked the Stone Ape King beast. It immediately barked twice. After a while, footsteps came from various mountain roads. 10, hundreds, thousands. Finally, a rough count revealed that there were more than 5,000 of them. Ye Feng didn't expect that there was so much hidden in the mountain. However, there are some with low strength, accounting for a large proportion, and they are temporarily useless. Those above the rank of sergeant are more useful, and there are more than 1,000 of them. There are more than 300 general level ones. You ask them to divide their forces into more than 30 locations now, loot all the mineral veins there, and bring all the minerals back. Ye Feng said to the Stone Ape King beast. Click, click, click. Next, the Stone Ape King beast gave orders to his subordinates. How to teach them specifically so that they can reach the right place is a matter for the Stone Ape King beast. Ye Feng directly acted as the master. After a while, I finally taught them and set off in a grand way. They were divided into more than 30 teams. The members of each team are approximately 10 generals and dozens of sergeants. Such a configuration is more than enough to deal with the guards of the mines. They would choose to start at the same time, for efficiency on the one hand, and mainly because they didn't want to give the Zhang family time and a chance to react. Today is the first day that the secret realm is opened, and the Zhang family will definitely send people over to transport those minerals away. If the time drags on for too long, the minerals will be transported back directly by them. If they attack the mineral veins, there will be no minerals to loot. And if you attack each place separately, after the news spreads, other mineral points will strengthen their defense, making it more difficult to obtain. Ye Feng watched them leave. While waiting, I dialed the number of the Black Glove organization. Prepare the fleet and wait to pick up a large amount of minerals. Ye Feng said directly. Are you really going against the Zhang family? The other party's tone was very surprised. There are more than 30 mineral veins. If every one of them is plundered, it will indeed be a big asset. But the question is, can the Zhang family be robbed like this? He hadn't even thought that Ye Feng would take action at the same time. Because if you want to loot so many mineral sites at the same time, you need a lot of manpower, and you have to be an organizational force. Don't you just focus on business and don't ask about anything else? Ye Feng said in an unhappy tone. Yes. It's my fault that I talked too much. After he apologized, he hesitated and said, it's just that this time we don't dare to go to the mine to pick up the goods. What he was worried about was the Zhang family's counterattack. It would be dangerous if they were blocked. Not to mention doing business, even your life will be lost there. You don't need to worry about this. I will put the goods in a safe place for you. Just prepare the manpower and vehicles and wait for my news. Ye Feng said. That's good, we'll start preparing now and wait for your good news. The phone hangs up. Ye Feng waited quietly. Before the Stone Ape beast set off, Ye Feng explained the stalking point. It is a place quite far away from here. The location is also relatively remote. There is a stone forest with few resources. Few people will go there. It is very private. All the minerals you want to sell can be stored there. Time passed by minute by minute. At this time, there is a mining site under the Zhang family's name. There were also 2 people guarding the door. The force configuration of these mineral points is not very different. At most, if the minerals are more valuable and the mineral reserves are larger, more experts will be equipped accordingly. Maybe it was because no one had dared to make trouble in their place all this time. The 2 gatekeepers looked quite relaxed. They didn't realize it until a group of stone ape beasts approached and noticed the movement. Look over there, what's that? Stone beast? This kind of thing should be called a stone ape beast. Where did it come from? Strange, does the stone monkey have the habit of wandering around? I don't remember that. They are used to nesting in one place and don't run around. That's strange. Is there a stone ape beast settlement nearby? The 2 of them looked at each other and discussed in surprise. They didn't even realize that this group of stone ape beasts was coming towards them. They thought they were just entrenched nearby and wandered here unintentionally. But soon, I felt something was wrong. No. They are coming for us. Notify the people inside quickly. The two of them turned around and headed into the mine. Just at the beginning, there was strong pressure from behind. Several general-level stone ape beasts suddenly jumped and rushed over. Ah! Ah! The two of them were no match at all and were crushed directly. Chapter 56. Dozens of stone ape beasts rushed into the mine. Wherever it goes, no one can stop it. The three military generals guarding the scene heard the commotion and hurried out. How could there be a stone ape beast? The three of them were shocked. When the mineral vein was discovered here, before the mining, experts from the Zhang family had already scoured a large area nearby. Moreover, this kind of thing is done regularly to prevent stone beasts from setting up camp nearby and gathering more and more, endangering the safety of the mineral veins. But now, dozens of stone ape beasts suddenly popped out. Where did they pop out? Guards, these stone ape beasts are so strong, they killed many of us. The man being chased by the stone ape beast said in shock and anger. Humph! BD! Die! The three men were full of rage and killed the stone monkey beast, but unfortunately they seriously underestimated the stone monkey beast's strength. Just the 10 at the front all have general rank. Under siege, 3 military generals guarded the area, but were beaten to the point where they retreated and howled. In the end, he was hammered to death by the stone ape beast. After killing the people in the mine, Stone Eamon found the mineral. Inside the mine, there is also a mine cart with several large wheels and a cargo bucket that can be filled with minerals. Because the ore that is usually dug out needs to be transported to the cave for centralized storage, this kind of mine car is needed. The mine cart is quite big and has a lot of cargo capacity. He found many mine carts, loaded all the ore in the mine into the cargo bucket of the mine cart, and then was pulled away by the stone ape beast. Part of it was shipped to Stone Monkey Mountain, which Feng promised to them for consumption and absorption. The other part is to go to the designated place, which is a stone forest, and stock up there. Similar situations to here are happening in many other mineral veins at the same time. The Zhang family's mineral vein industries have suffered unprecedented looting. But there was one special place where an accident happened. When the stone ape beast team in charge here arrived at the mine, they encountered a strong man. Wu Wangzhong ordered people to carry out all the minerals from the mine and load them into trucks so that he could transport them away. The two just happened to hit each other. How come there is a stone monkey beast running here? Zhang Fu frowned, very confused. Today is really not going well. We set out from Jiang's house early in the morning, brought the convoy, and came all the way here. It was fate that the minerals came here. At the first mining site they arrived, people were slaughtered and all the minerals were robbed. It made him very angry and helpless. After contacting the Zhang family, a lot of time was wasted, and finally we waited until someone from the Zhang family arrived. Unfortunately, the result was still unsatisfactory. The enemy eliminated the smell and the sniffing bugs could not track it. What else can be done? The team that arrived later was responsible for the mine site where the accident occurred, and he continued to load the minerals. Now here is the second mineral point. While loading, I saw dozens of stone ape beasts approaching. Humph! Where did this evil beast come from? Die! Zhang Fu didn't care what the stone ape beast was here for. King Wu's powerful energy and blood exploded, and he cut the fastest stone ape beast in half with a single strike. With the state of crushing, one can indeed achieve an instant kill. The remaining stone ape beasts were frightened by the scene in front of them. When it came out, its king said. Of course, in fact, the king beast was just passing the microphone, mainly because of Feng. Feng told them that if they encounter an opponent that is too powerful and is not their opponent, they should not love fighting, retreat as soon as possible, and you can escape as much as you can. Remembering these instructions, the stone monkey beast, which was one step behind, immediately turned around and fled. Hey! It's not that easy to escape. After most of the day, Zhang Fu had already been holding back his anger, and he just took it out on these stone ape beasts. He chased after them and chopped down several more stone ape beasts. However, there were too many stone ape beasts and they scattered and fled, so he couldn't kill them all. In the end, only half of them were killed, and the remaining half were allowed to escape. The main thing is that he doesn't want to chase him too far, as he still has business to do here. Cool. Zhang Fu came back and took a breath. The depression that had accumulated for most of the day was finally vented in the battle just now. However, after calming down, I always felt that something was wrong. There is no stone ape beast lair nearby, and stone monkey beasts are not a race that likes to run around. How come such a group of stone monkey beasts suddenly came to the mine vein? Hey! Look at me being so suspicious. They are just a group of stone beasts with low IQs. What other reason could there be? They must be looking for food, so they came here randomly. Zhang Fu patted his forehead and said to himself. All the minerals here have been loaded onto the truck. Set off. They headed for the next mine. As he gradually got closer, the ominous feeling in Zhang Fu's heart became stronger and stronger. The smell of blood again. Soon, they saw the body. Who did it again? Everyone in Zhang Fu's eyes were about to burst into flames. Inexplicably, I remembered the scene where the stone monkey beast was approaching just now. Not good. Other veins. Zhang Fu immediately set off again, heading to the next mineral vein. Sure enough, it was exactly what he thought. Not only that, he also went to the next place. Same, all the same, all looted. It was as if there was a powerful force targeting the Zhang family. He could already imagine how angry the Zhang family would be after this matter was reported. By the way, the Gu Master is still in the secret realm, let him track it down. Zhang Fu immediately contacted the Gu Master. After he arrives, use the sniffing bug to explore. Still no trace. The Gu Master shook his head. What he didn't know was that the stone ape beasts themselves had no breath, not to mention that their bodies were no different from stones. In the secret realm, the most indispensable thing is stones, and there are sand and stones everywhere. From the perspective of smelling the scent, the stone monkey is almost invisible when moving in such a place. When this result occurred, Zhang Fu was dejected. As the person in charge of this transportation, if he only saves one mineral vein, he will definitely be punished. The most important thing is that there is no trace of the murderer, and there is no chance to make amends. At the same time, somewhere in a remote stone forest, there are piles of minerals piled up, like hills, with many types, all pulled here by stone ape beasts and dumped. The stone ape beast has asked Ye Feng to call him back and rest in the beast mountain. Inside, there are piles of minerals stored in the deep cave chambers. With these, it is enough for them to eat and grow. No matter how much you give them, they won't be able to finish it all, so Ye Feng chooses to sell half of it. Bang, bang, bang. There are all kinds of minerals to eat, and the stone ape beasts are very happy, holding their favorite minerals and chewing them. The teeth are so good. The task Ye Feng gave them was to improve their strength and expand their population as soon as possible, so that they could continue to do things later. Ye Feng is not in the Beast Mountain at this time, but over there in the stone forest. But he didn't show up, he just hid in the dark and kept an eye on the minerals stored there. When the people from the Black Gloves organization were notified by Ye Feng and arrived at the stone forest, they were all stunned by the scene in front of them. So many minerals. They knew that someone was preparing to loot the mineral veins under the Zhang family's name. I thought it would be great to be able to rob one or two, but I didn't expect so many. I'm afraid not all of them were robbed. Quick! Load the car quickly. Surprised, they did not sit idle and took action immediately. Ye Feng was also bargaining with Black Gloves. In the end, this batch of minerals was sold for a total of 200 million. Ye Feng's total assets reached more than 220 million. In the next few days, Ye Feng stayed in the secret realm of the treasure mine. The main thing is to hang out with the stone ape beasts, observe their living habits, and formulate plans for the next development. You have allowed me to reproduce. Every time you give birth to another child, you can get an additional resource subsidy. Ye Feng announced. The way they give birth is also very interesting. When two male and female stone monkey beasts stay together, if the frequency of certain fluctuations released in the crystal nucleus matches, the female beast will have the opportunity to form a new small crystal nucleus, which will gradually grow into a small stone monkey beast, and then be born. Come out. Ye Feng asked them to develop for a while and not to cause trouble for the time being. Because after the Zhang family incident, after the news spread, there has been an uproar and people are panicking. Each family's mineral veins have sent more experts to guard the mines, fearing that like the Zhang family, they will be the next to be robbed. It's time to go out. Ye Feng said softly. Chapter 57. Ye Feng asked the Stone Ape King Beast to develop for a period of time in the Stone Ape Beast Mountain. He came to the teleportation point, which was the location he was randomly teleported to when he first came in. A mysterious suction force gradually strengthened. Soon, Ye Feng was teleported out. I originally thought that I would meet someone from the Zhang family, but it turned out not to be the case. What Ye Feng didn't know was that in the first 2 days after the incident happened, the Zhang family was extremely angry and sent a large number of experts to investigate the matter thoroughly. But the results were not satisfactory, and there were very few clues. I heard Zhang Fu say that there were dozens of stone ape beasts intending to attack the mineral veins. Could it be that all the stone ape beasts were responsible? At first, they thought it was just a coincidence. However, following the investigation, some clues found in other mining sites are indeed very similar to the work of the stone ape beast. This makes the incident even more bizarre. This kind of thing has not happened for many years. Why did it happen now? It's okay to say that there were 2 places at one place, but now there are more than 30 places. Accidents happened at the same time. Everyone else was fine, but it was only him, the Zhang family, who had trouble. It was definitely planned. Without premeditation and planning, it is absolutely impossible for this kind of thing to happen. But here comes the question, who is behind the scenes to make it possible for a group of stone ape beasts to come over and loot their Zhang family's mineral veins? You must know that stone beasts generally have low IQs and only have some instinctive reactions. There is no way to teach them what to do. Someone once imagined that stone beasts were naturally interested in various minerals. If they were tamed into pet beasts and allowed to help dig for minerals, they could provide a lot of labor. However, after many experiments, all of which failed and could not be tamed, people gradually gave up on this idea. Could it be that someone successfully tamed it? For several days, they searched for the stone ape beast everywhere in the secret realm of the treasure mine. But the secret realm is so big that there will be no results for a while. Even if the stone ape beast is found, it may not be the same group that robbed their mineral veins. Before Ye Feng left, he told the stone monkey king beast to stay inside the mountain when nothing happened. If he found enemies outside, he could use the maze corridors inside the mountain to hide and seek with them, and just keep dealing with them. Ye Feng headed towards the provincial capital at a constant speed. During this period, something is going on in full swing at Longteng Academy. Several senior instructors have been dispatched, and King Wu sent by the Joint Security Bureau is launching an operation. There is a King Wu of the Security Bureau and a senior tutor of the school, each following a student, wandering aimlessly in the streets and alleys. To put it simply, a group of 3 people, 2 martial kings follow a student. The students were walking in the open, while the 2 King Wu dressed as passers-by and followed them at a certain distance, trying to reduce their sense of presence as much as possible. I hope we can catch Crazy Wei. Su Chanyi was also one of the operatives. At this time, she was following a student from a distance in cooperation with King Wu sent by the Security Bureau. The cause of the incident must be mentioned when Xiaoming was brutally killed a few days ago. An investigation was immediately launched and reported to the Security Bureau. As the National Security Department, the Security Bureau has many martial arts masters. The person who called the police was Longteng Academy, and the victim was still a student, and the murder was committed in the provincial capital. The murderer was really lawless and too arrogant. The Security Bureau attached great importance to it and set up a task force to investigate quickly. After many rounds of research, the final result was obtained. This murderer is most likely a member of the Blood Hand sect. This person's information is still on the bounty wanted list. Madman Wei, in the early stage of King Wu's strength, he was nicknamed Student Killer. He liked to kill students very much, especially students from key schools. Those who can enter key schools have better talents, which gave him the pleasure of killing geniuses. Bounty, 50 million. The original Xieyin pharmacist and King Wu's later strength only had a bounty of 10 million. Madman Wei's income was as high as 50 million in the early stage of King Wu alone, which was 5 times that of the evil pharmacist. Therefore, the size of the bounty depends not only on the strength, but also on the crimes committed by the person and how bad the impact is. Of course, the evil pharmacist is also a bad person, but compared to Madman Wei, he specializes in killing school students and often kills serially, making people panic all day long. His nature is much worse than that of the evil pharmacist. For example, during the investigation of the case, several students were murdered. They did not listen to the advice and sneaked out of the school, and were eventually brutally murdered. Their deaths were equally miserable, and they were also thrown into the playground outside, similar to the way Xiaoming died. At the beginning, people still had doubts. Why did the murderer know so well, and who were the students in the school? Because if you don't know clearly, how did the murderer do it, killing only students in the school every time? After investigation, it was finally found out. In the browsing records of students' basic files, there is a student who has browsed almost all students' files. The basic file information is public, and students in the school can check each other. Originally, this was done so that students could know the progress of their classmates in real time and compete with each other. Who would have thought that they would be betrayed to a murderous madman? The person who betrayed the student records was none other than Zhao Ming. Sometimes it is so dramatic. The person who betrayed the student files became the first person to be killed. This can be regarded as retribution. As for Zhao Ming's motive, it was nothing more than being promised benefits by Crazy Wei. Without knowing what the other party wanted the files for, he sold the file information to him. If Madman Wei gets what he wants, he will naturally not keep Zhao Ming anymore. The action launched at this time was to fish for law enforcement, using the lone student as bait to lure Madman Wei out. The two King Wu who accompanied him immediately stepped forward to deal with it. However, time passed by minute, and almost half a day passed. I have visited a lot of the surrounding area, and even met other teams several times. Result: nothing. Could it be that something was wrong? Su Chanyi moved her lips slightly and said in a very low voice. A female martial arts queen from the security bureau beside her nodded slightly and responded in a low voice, Crazy Wei can have such a high bounty. In addition to his numerous crimes, another reason is that it is difficult to catch him because he is too alert at the same time. A certain street in this area. Ye Feng has returned from the treasure mine secret realm and is walking towards Longteng Academy. At this time, I was walking on this street, walking slowly and slowly. The street is relatively remote and has little traffic, so there happened to be no people at this time. Ye Feng suddenly stood still, felt something in his heart, and turned around slowly. I saw someone behind me, standing there with a cruel smile on his face. Chapter 58. This person has narrow eyes and thin lips. A blue dagger flipped back and forth on several fingers, as flexible as a fish in the water. Ye Feng, this new student of Longteng Academy, was promoted to a senior student in just 10 days. Ha ha ha. Not bad, this is the first time I have encountered a genius of your level. I will definitely be very happy when I start killing him. I feel excited just thinking about it. As he spoke, the speed of the dagger turned in his hand gradually increased. Ye Feng raised his eyebrows, and the man actually pronounced his identity accurately. You obviously don't know me, but you feel a little familiar? After thinking for a moment, Ye Feng suddenly realized. Bounty wanted list. Last time I killed the evil pharmacist and browsed the wanted list online, especially the members of the Blood Hand sect, I focused on browsing a lot. Among them is such a person, Crazy Wei. This person is mentally ill and takes pleasure in torturing and killing students. Ye Feng immediately thought that Zhao Ming's tragic death a few days ago was probably caused by this person. Now he will find me, probably with the same purpose. You are calm, but it's a pity that no one can save you without an expert following you. Just as Su Chanyi guessed, their fishing law enforcement had been noticed by Crazy Wei, so they didn't show up for a long time, leaving them busy there in vain. However, Madman Wei had an unexpected gain and discovered Ye Feng acting alone. After checking the file, I was even more delighted. What a good guy, he is actually the most talented among the freshmen in this class. Even if you look at all previous years, he is definitely the #1 genius. This is the situation at this time. Next, enjoy the pain of being tortured. I will first cut off your tongue, then blind your eyes, and then disembowel you. No matter how you struggle, it will be useless. Madman Wei showed a perverted smile, turned the blue dagger in his hand, and approached Ye Feng. Then, enjoy it. Madman Wei's face turned ferocious, and he aimed his blue dagger at Ye Feng's mouth. As he said, Ye Feng's tongue must be cut first. Haha, since you choose this way to die, then I will help you, call. 4th level martial skill, Instant Shadow Heavenly Sword. The long knife in Ye Feng's hand was surprisingly fast, pulling out an afterimage and slashing at Madman Wei's wrist. The dagger was still held in the hand, but the severed hand had fallen to the ground. Ah! Madman Wei howled in pain and looked at Ye Feng with horror on his face. Why is it so strong? He was shocked. How could a freshman who had just entered the school be so strong? What's even more puzzling is that the aura erupted by the opponent at this moment is only at the peak level of a military commander, but the martial arts skills displayed should be at the 4th level of perfection in terms of power. He is already the king of martial arts, and he has only practiced the 4th level martial arts skills to a small degree. Facing Ye Feng's attack, he was unable to withstand it and lost one of his hands in an instant. What he didn't know was that Ye Feng had only used the strength of a Qi blood warrior, but had not yet used the stronger soul master. However, to deal with people like Madman Wei, the strength of a warrior alone is enough. Regardless of the current state, which can only be regarded as the peak of a military commander, it is only 2,000 blood away from the early stage of the king of martial arts, which is infinitely closer. In addition, the martial arts skills are at the 4th level, which is even more perfect, and there are blessings such as Sanchange Sword Intent, Wind Whisperer, and Martial Arts Holy Body. Killing a martial king in the early stage by leaping through the ranks is like playing for fun. No, no. Don't kill me. I was joking just now. How could I dare to do something to you? If you are so powerful, even if you give me 10 courages, I would not dare to do something to you. Madman Wei held his broken arm, endured the pain, and kept talking, frantically begging for mercy. Noisy. Ye Feng raised the knife and brought it down. He thrust the tip of the knife into Madman Wei's mouth and cut off his tongue. Crazy Wei couldn't speak normally anymore. Then, Ye Feng attacked his eyes again. Just give him the set meal that Madman Wei just mentioned. According to Ye Feng's own habits, he must have been chopped with a knife. After all, Ye Feng is a mentally normal person and has no tendency to kill. But since this person is so obsessed with this method of killing, let him experience it himself. After one set meal, Crazy Wei lost his breath. Ye Feng picked up the dagger he dropped. This weapon is good, its grade reaches level 4, and it can be sold for 3 million on the black market. Ye Feng left here. Open the wanted website while walking, submit the information as you did last time, and wait to get the reward later. 50 million, don't give it up in vain. A few minutes after Wei Kuai-shao died, passers-by passed by the street and screamed when they saw Wei Kuai-shao in a miserable state of death. People are dead. People are dead here. Su Chanyi's team happened to arrive at a nearby area and faintly heard screams, which made their hearts skip a beat. It's broken. Could it be that something happened? The 2 female warrior kings immediately approached the source of the sound. When they arrived, the scene they saw in front of them made them take a breath of cold air. Madman Wei is dead. And his death was very miserable. Which team did it? Su Chanyi and the other 2 looked around and found no other teams. There was only one person at the scene, a passerby who was so frightened that he collapsed on the ground. There was no blood on his face and his feet were weak. Did you scream just now? Su Chanyi asked this person. The passerby nodded dumbly, and after a while, he calmed down slightly. I just passed by here and found that a person died tragically here. He was just a warrior in the martial arts realm and had not experienced much decent experience. It was normal to be frightened by the tragic situation in front of him. I notified the others and they will be here soon. The female warrior queen of the security bureau turned off the communication and spoke out. After a while, other teams arrived one after another. Communicate with each other and clarify the situation. Madman Wei was killed. It is not yet clear who did it. Just looking at the technique, I almost thought it was another Madman Wei. This man is extremely powerful. Crazy Wei is powerless in front of him. If you look at the provincial government, there are only a few people with such strength. Let's call up the peripheral surveillance first and take a look. The Security Bureau has the authority to check the surveillance in public areas at any time. Unfortunately, neither the crime scene nor several surrounding streets have surveillance cameras installed. Therefore, if you want to check the surveillance, you can only look further away to see if you can find any clues. They investigated many surveillance cameras at the same time, and the images were displayed on the light curtain. There are so many people. Everyone frowned more and more. In places with surveillance, there is a large flow of people, and the streets are crisscrossed, making it difficult to tell which street the people passing by come from. Hey? Ye Feng. Su Chanyi suddenly let out a light sigh. She saw Ye Feng's figure in the picture. Who is it? The guard asked. Oh, he is one of my students. Su Chanyi replied. It seems that this student was not arranged for the action just now, right? The guard was confused. No, but he left school a few days ago and may just come back now. Su Chanyi said. The guard nodded, not doubting that he was there, and continued to check the surveillance footage. Coincidence? Su Chanyi was thoughtful. Chapter 59. Ye Feng returned to Longteng Academy and went to the dormitory area. I haven't had a good rest in a few days, so I need to have a good sleep. First, I took a shower, changed into a set of clean clothes, and prepared to rest. Hey, has grown to the limit of the second stage? It's quite fast. Ye Feng took out the bottle marked with the number 2. The instant nutrient inside had been completely absorbed by the Yunsang vine. At that time, 4 bottles were obtained, representing 4 stages. In the first stage, as early as the first day, the light was absorbed by Yunsang vine. Ye Feng immediately arranged for it to enter the second stage of the bottle. Now it absorbs light again and reaches the growth limit of the second stage. How many meters can you reach now? Ye Feng released Yunsang vine. The second stage of the Yunsang vine, with a total of 2 canes, immediately began to grow in size, reaching a full length of 6 meters, circling several times in the middle of the room. I heard that the mulberry vine can wrap around the body to form defensive armor. Let me give it a try. Ye Feng gave the order. Yun Sang Teng understood the meaning and immediately wrapped around Ye Feng. I originally thought that after being wrapped, it would just look like a thick rope, tied and wrapped around the surface of the body. Not really. Yunsang vine has the ability to grow larger and smaller, that is to say, it has the function of changing body shape. After wrapping, you can adjust it to the most suitable look according to your body's structure. The whole person looks like it is covered with a layer of cyan armor. Covering the whole body, the coverage area is very good, even the face can be covered, leaving holes in places such as eyes. It's hard to tell from the appearance alone that Yunsang vine is wrapped around his body. Only those who know a lot about demonized plants can see it. Otherwise, one might mistakenly think that he is wearing a cyan armor that covers a large area. At this time, Su Chanyi has returned to school. Hello, Teacher Su. The students said hello. Su Chanyi nodded and asked, by the way, have you seen Ye Feng come back? Yes. I saw it just now. It seemed to be heading towards the dormitory. The classmate replied. After learning the news, Su Chanyi went straight to Ye Feng's dormitory. On the way back, she was thinking, Ye Feng appeared in the surveillance screen, could it be Ye Feng who killed Madman Wei? She did not doubt that Ye Feng had this ability. After all, the evil pharmacists at that time were all killed by Ye Feng with one blow, so it was completely possible to kill another Madman Wei. But from the scene, it doesn't feel like it. When Ye Feng killed the evil medicine man that day, he used the ability of a soul master, but Madman Wei died by being hacked to death by a warrior. Even with that brutal method, it didn't feel like it was done by Ye Feng. Now that Ye Feng has come back, go and ask him personally. When I arrived at Ye Feng's villa, I was probably too engrossed in my thoughts, so I just barged in. She saw Ye Feng wearing blue armor. What are you wearing? Su Chanyi looked at Ye Feng with surprise. Don't you know how to knock on the door? Ye Feng complained. How could anyone just climb over the courtyard wall and break in? To King Wu, the height of a courtyard wall was indeed nothing, and he could cross it with a single jump. Aren't I in a hurry to ask you something? Su Chanyi stuck out her tongue, knowing that she was in the wrong. Then she saw the mulberry vine fading from Ye Feng's body. It's actually a demonized plant. Su Chanyi sounded surprised. Demonic plants may not be uncommon, but they are all found in the wild. Demonic plants that can be cultivated as pets are rare and need to be cultivated from seedlings or seeds. She didn't expect that Ye Feng had such good things. During the last trip to the Misty Forest, I learned about Ye Feng's identity as a soul master, and now I accidentally learned that Ye Feng possesses a demonized plant. The more I get to know Ye Feng, the more I feel that I don't know the bottom of it. What does it feel like to wear the armor made of demonized plants? Su Chanyi's bright big eyes were full of curiosity. She has killed demonized plants before, but she has never experienced what it feels like to have demonized plants covering the body. His attention was completely attracted by the demonized plants, and he forgot the main purpose of this trip. Then let you try. Ye Feng suggested. Really? Su Chanyi was happy. Well, don't move. I'll let the Yunsang vine pass over and cover you. Ye Feng said and began to direct Yunsang Teng. Yunsang vine was also very obedient. It swam with 2 vines, like the tentacles of an octopus, towards Su Chanyi and began to wrap around her. After a while, Su Chanyi had a strange look on her face. Weren't you covered all over just now? Why did it only tie up my hands and feet and strangle it in specific parts? Moreover, Su Chanyi blushed a little, you even pulled hard to make me in this position, which is a bit embarrassing. Well, maybe you are not its owner, so I am still a little resistant to you and can't do it like I do. Ye Feng explained. Really? Su Chanyi looked at Ye Feng suspiciously, also. Why did it start pulling on my clothes? There is no way. Ye Feng stared at Su Chanyi and swallowed, it doesn't listen to me now. I'll try to make it stop. Ye Feng slowly directed Yun Sangtang to leave Su Chanyi's body. As a result, not only did it not work, but it was tied even tighter. Hurry up, if you don't let go, I will use force. With Yun Sangtang's current strength, Su Chanyi would probably be torn into pieces if she really went crazy. That won't work. If you break the mulberry vine, you have to find one to compensate me. Ye Feng shook his head. This is a demonized plant. Even if you have money, it's hard to buy it. Where can I find this to compensate you? Su Chanyi said aggrievedly. Coupled with her face and figure, it makes people horny. Then don't move. If you don't break it, you don't have to pay for it. Ye Feng said with a smile. Su Chanyi gritted her teeth, wanting to punch Ye Feng. Her face looked angry, but she didn't struggle much. She just pushed back and allowed herself to be manipulated. The atmosphere in the room became charming. It was almost dark before Su Chanyi left Ye Feng's residence. This BD. He's full of evil. Compared with when she entered, her hair was a little messy and she was a little tired. By the way, what on earth did I come for? Oh. I want to ask about Crazy Wei. Su Chanyi slapped her forehead. I asked a question for a long time, but in the end I still didn't get the answer, and there was no one left. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Madman Wei is dead now and it will no longer affect the normal operation of the school. Look, Teacher So came out of Ye Feng's residence. The students on the road were talking quietly. She still loves Ye Feng so much that she actually comes to help him practice. Seeing how tired she is, she must be giving guidance very seriously. That's for sure, otherwise Ye Feng could improve so quickly. I can only say that he has a good fortune. He has been favored by instructor So for a long time. When he was still a junior student, he was already scheduled to accept him. He spared no effort to teach him. Even if he makes mistakes, he will turn a blind eye. Well, it's incomparable, absolutely incomparable. As the discussion continued, the topic turned to the major events that happened today. By the way, that Madman Wei was the real king of Wu, but he was actually killed. I don't know which hero did it. It's so relieved. We don't need to worry anymore. The hero who takes action is at least King Wu. King Wu. It's so far away. I don't know when I will reach it. Although they are already generals, they still have a long way to go before becoming King Wu. Chapter 60. 2 days passed peacefully. Ye Feng suddenly received a payment reminder. A total of 50 million yuan came from the bounty wanted list headquarters. Obviously, it was the reward for killing Crazy Wei. After the death of Madman Wei, the Security Bureau was very curious about who did it. Through the surveillance video, no useful information could be found. Later, they received news that the Bounty List Department received an application from a bounty hunter, and the person they were hunting was none other than Crazy Wei. However, the information is all encrypted. For example, the submitted payment account number is automatically encrypted by the program. When paying the bounty, it can only be done in this program instead of manually entering the account number. This encryption method is one way, and the data after encryption is irreversible. Even if the person who wrote this program comes over, the encrypted account cannot be restored, and it is impossible to query the owner of the household through the account. But one thing is certain, the person who killed Crazy Wei also killed the evil pharmacist not long ago. In the end, they had to think that this was a powerful bounty hunter who had recently targeted members of the Blood Hand sect. Ye Feng looked at his current assets, which totaled more than 270 million. Such a sum of money can enable an ordinary family to live a lifetime of comfort. Ye Feng couldn't help but think of the past, when his family was poor and lived in an old community in Linhai City, with an old house of dozens of square meters on the first floor. My parents used to have a wish, which was to save some money and renovate the old house. They didn't even dare to hope that they could afford to buy a new floor. If it hadn't been for the beast wave that took away the lives of his parents, now that he had this ability, he could have given them the good life they dreamed of. Unfortunately, there is no if. Thinking of this, Ye Feng sighed, with sadness mixed with regret. Ye Feng's experience is just a microcosm of thousands of people. Ye Feng is still lucky to be able to turn around. More people can only be lost in the dust of history forever. If there is a chance in the future, Ye Feng will go back to Linhai City and plan to hire someone to renovate the old house. Although he couldn't live there, Ye Feng simply wanted to do this because the two elders had had this plan. Time flies, and another 10 days pass in peace. Not bad, you have finally reached the limit of the 4th stage. Ye Feng looked at Yunsangteng and was very pleased. As early as 7 days ago, it had grown to the limit of the 3rd stage, with 3 canes, each 10 meters long. Now it is the 4th stage limit, with a total of 4 rattans, each 20 meters long. The length has doubled. The effect of the instant nutritional supplements released from the treasure box is astonishing, allowing Yunsangvine to improve so much in a short period of time. It's a pity that there is no 5th stage, so the progress can only be put on hold for the time being. Now in the 4th stage, it has already helped me. Even if Yunsangteng can deal with King Wu alone, it will be more than enough. I don't know when the clues to the treasure chest will appear again. Ye Feng thought expectantly. For more than 10 days, no new clues have emerged. Currently, there is only one red treasure chest that has not been opened yet. It is in the Zhang family's mansion, which is the headquarters of the Zhang family. With Wu Zun and Wu Zong sitting in charge, it is difficult for people to start. Ye Feng can only place his hope on the new treasure box, so that if his strength improves a little more, he will be able to sneak into the Zhang family. Coincidentally, as soon as Ye Feng thought this, the prompt for the treasure chest popped up, and there were 2 prompts as soon as it appeared. Treasure chest clue: to the south of Linhai City, a blue, high-quality, treasure chest appears. Please go and open it. Treasure chest clue: there is a purple treasure chest in the south of Linhai City. Please go and open it. Ye Feng was delighted. The blue treasure chest was already very good at the moment. He didn't expect that a purple one would appear. That is a treasure chest that is higher than blue and is at the 5th level. The treasures it contains must be very good. At south of Linhai City. Ye Feng noticed that the 2 treasure chests pointed to the south of Linhai City. The leaves are ripe in this place. Long before the college entrance examination, the sea south of Linhai City was shaken, and a large number of sea beasts came ashore, causing many casualties. At that time, Ye Feng was just a high school student in the martial arts realm. He was arranged by the school to go to the rear area for training, which could be considered as a contribution. It was also at that time that I was injured by a sea beast, my martial arts foundation was damaged, and I was later expelled from school. In fact, all of this has not happened too long ago, but now that I think about it, it feels very far away. It was because he had improved too quickly and already had the ability to kill the king of martial arts instantly. He was completely different from before, and he was completely different from before, which was why he had the illusion that he had for a long time. I was thinking just now that I would hire someone to renovate the old house when I have the opportunity to go to Linhai City. Now I go over to open the treasure chest, and I just have someone finish the job. Ye Feng thought to himself. Just as he was about to pack up and get ready to go out, a loud broadcast sounded throughout the entire Longteng Academy. Attention all teachers and students in the school. If an emergency occurs, all instructors and senior students in the school are asked to gather at the central playground immediately. Repeat it again. There is an emergency. What happened? Ye Feng walked towards the school playground with doubts. Along the way, the students I met asked each other what happened. But they all looked confused and said they were not sure yet. The instructors and senior students all headed towards the assembly point. As for the junior students, they were not mentioned in the broadcast, but out of curiosity, many people followed them. When we got there, more and more people gathered. There are so many people. It turns out there are so many senior students in the academy. At a glance, tens of thousands of people have gathered, and the number is still increasing. This is just for those who are on campus. If you include those who are not on campus at this time, the number will only be even higher. In front of the student group, there are hundreds of tutors. Su Chanyi looked around and accidentally saw Ye Feng. What happened? Ye Feng asked with his mouth. However, what was waiting for her was Su Chanyi, who glared over and waved her fist. Anyway, she didn't answer, so she probably wasn't clear either. At this moment, a pressure quickly approached. Everyone's eyes flashed, and a figure appeared at the top of the crowd. He looks like a man in his 50s, with a straight body and lightning-like eyes. He does not deliberately release his breath, but gives people a strong oppression. His energy and blood are like the sea, and he is not angry and powerful. Principal. The principals are here. Everyone exclaimed. Normally at school, there is basically no chance to see the principal. Now that the principal appears, it can only show that the situation is indeed urgent. The principal of Longteng Academy. He is really strong. Ye Feng could not judge the specific strength of this person, but he only felt that he was very strong. In the near future, I will also be able to achieve this level of intensity. Not only that, but also stronger. Chapter 61. Teachers and students, I have called you to gather here because I have just received news that over at Linhai City, the southern sea has been shaken again, and a large number of sea beasts have come ashore. This time, it's even more serious than last time. Preliminary estimates put the number of sea beasts ashore at a few million. Hearing the words of Principal Pang Chi, many teachers and students took a deep breath. Millions of sea beasts gathered together, how spectacular and terrifying it would be. If there are more than 100,000 animals, it will reach the scale of the beast tide. For example, in the last sea beast battle, the scale was only hundreds of thousands. Only more than 2 months passed before and after, there was another beast wave, and the scale was several times that of the last time. What's going on in the sea over there? There are already warriors from all walks of life heading over there to help resist the beast tide. Longteng Academy, as the top martial arts university in Lingnan province, cannot sit idly by. Once Linhai City is captured, the surrounding cities will follow. This will be a showdown between humans and alien beasts. Get ready now, and then set off immediately to go to Linhai City to support and fight those beasts back into the sea. Pang Qi's loud voice, sonorous and powerful, reached everyone's ears. Yes. Many teachers and students responded in unison. Damn sea beasts, this time, let them never dare to come ashore again. It's been a long time since I've had a big kill. I'm going to kill it hard this time. Let's all compete to see who can kill more. The students sharpened their knives and had high morale. Now we have half an hour to prepare, and we will set off in half an hour. Ye Feng didn't need to prepare much. He had planned to go out to Linhai City and had already prepared his equipment. Just when I was about to go out, I was called here urgently. What a coincidence, there was a sea monster coming ashore again in Linhai City. Ye Feng went there this time with a simple purpose. Opening the treasure chest was the main task, and killing more sea beasts by the way. Since his parents died in the beast tide, every time a beast tide occurs, it always arouses Ye Feng's hatred. What's more, it was the place where Ye Feng had lived for 18 years, full of memories, and Ye Feng didn't want Linhai City to disappear. Half an hour later, everyone was ready. The principal took the lead. There are too many students, so they are divided into teams, led by their respective instructors. Ye Feng. As he was setting off, a female voice stopped Ye Feng. Ye Feng looked and saw that it was He Xiling. When you arrive at Linhai City, can you help me check on my dad? She said with worry on her face. Her father opened a grocery store in Linhai City, and Ye Feng still worked there part-time. Now that she heard that a large number of sea beasts had landed in Linhai City, she was very worried about her father's safety. If she had the strength, she would also like to go, but unfortunately she is only in the middle stage of martial arts, so even if she wanted to go, the school would not agree. This improvement rate is already very good compared to students of the same period, but it is still not enough. Okay. I have plans even if you don't tell me. Don't worry, uncle, he will be fine. Ye Feng comforted him with a smile. Thank you. He Xiling nodded, finally feeling better. The team set off in a mighty manner. Walk out of the school gate and rush towards Linhai City. Ye Feng followed Su Chanyi's team, looking at the scenery along the way, feeling a little emotional. The last time I came here, I came to enroll in school, and my strength was not that good. This time when I go back, I can stand alone. Ye Feng, who was thinking about something, suddenly noticed someone approaching. Looking sideways, I found Su Chanyi approaching. Your boy is so handsome. Su Chanyi saw He Xiling calling Ye Feng just now. She also had some impression of He Xiling and knew that both Ye Feng and He Xiling were from Linhai City. We are just ordinary friends. Ye Feng said. I don't believe it. Su Chanyi shook her head. Are you jealous? Ye Feng laughed. TCH. Will I be jealous of you? Who do you want to be friends with? It's none of my business. Su Chanyi looked disgusted and spoke rudely. It's so unladylike to speak. Ye Feng shook his head. Humph. I'm so angry with you. Su Chanyi gritted her teeth. There is nothing said here. Later, the classmates didn't hear clearly what the two of them said, so they started talking. Look, even when he's on his way, he has to give guidance to Ye Feng. Why do you feel that teacher Su is a little angry? Then it must be because Ye Feng didn't learn something, and teacher Su was even angry. Yes. That must be the case. After a long journey, the vast team arrived at Linhai City. At the city gate, warriors wearing uniform-style armor, with solemn expressions and a murderous aura, were guarding the place. Now that the situation is urgent, many experts in the city have gone to the south to resist the attack of sea monsters. They were afraid that some strange beasts would take advantage of the lack of power in the city and attack from other directions. Therefore, warriors must be sent to guard these important entrances to the city. There are thousands of them, and they are all city defenders. The city guard is a department that exists in every city. Their duty is to be responsible for the security of the city's border defense. Seeing the arrival of tens of thousands of troops, the city defenders became energetic. He's from Longteng Academy. From the team members, you can find a school badge hanging on each team, which was distributed before departure. The pattern is two dragons flying in the clouds and mist. People can recognize at a glance that the team comes from Longteng Academy. This resistance to the sea monster has various forces and reporters from all walks of life, and it is a good opportunity for publicity. Even though Longteng University is very well known and is already a top university, necessary publicity still needs to be done. You must be the principal of Longteng Academy. Thank you very much for coming all the way to support me. A city defender who looked like a captain immediately stepped forward to speak with a very respectful tone. In the past, I could only have the opportunity to see Pang Qi on video, but I never expected that I would be able to meet him in real life. There is also that famous teacher and student, who is worthy of being from Longteng Academy. Even though he is only a young student, his energy and blood are extremely strong, and he is obviously not weak in strength. The landing of sea animals affects thousands of households. This is what we should do. After a brief exchange, the team entered Linhai City. There are so many masters. What forces do they come from? Didn't you see their school badge? It's from Longteng Academy. No wonder, there are so many masters. It turns out to be Longteng Academy. Yanghui University just arrived, and now Longteng Academy is here. It's great. With the support of so many experts, our Linhai City is not afraid of being captured by sea beasts. Along the way, the people in Linhai City were talking a lot and seemed very excited. The Yanghui University they call is also a top university. Although it is not as good as Longteng Academy and is always beaten, it is only slightly inferior, and it is very top-notch. Sure enough, as they said, there was a large team not far ahead, walking towards the south. It can be seen from the school badges they wear that they are from Yanghui University. Seeing Longteng Academy behind them, they stopped and waited. Chapter 62. The president of Yanghui University is also a middle-aged man with a lot of energy. When he sees the people from Longteng University, his eyes flash with sharp light. I didn't expect you guys to come too. Principal Yanghui smiled. You all will come, and we will definitely come even more. Pang Qi replied lightly. A simple conversation gives people a strong smell of gunpowder. The students at Yanghui University also had a tit-for-tat look in their eyes, as if they were sharpening their knives. They couldn't get into Longteng University before, so they settled for the second best and entered Yanghui University. But they feel that a college entrance examination means nothing. For example, the martial arts examination stage is a practical experience and has too many influencing factors. If someone is targeted, it is likely to lead to failure in the examination and a significant drop in ranking. The second thing is that in addition to talent, there is another more important thing in the martial arts journey, which is opportunity. Some people, originally mediocre, are very lucky to get opportunities and soar into the sky. They felt from the bottom of their hearts that they were not inferior to the people from Longteng Academy. This resistance to the sea monster is an excellent publicity opportunity. In the face of numerous media and warriors from all walks of life, if the teachers and students of Yanghui University can perform well, they will outshine Longteng University. Then it will be just around the corner for Yanghui University to replace the leading position of Longteng University. The two teams continued on the road, keeping a certain distance apart. You all know what to do, right? Principal Yang Hui spoke. I know. We will behave well. I will let them know that our Yang Hui University is the #1 martial arts university in Lingnan. The speaker was a cold and arrogant young man. He was the type who failed the college entrance examination and later got opportunities. His strength is among the best among the students in the school, and his confidence is no worse than any other student. When the two teams arrived at the south side of Linhai City, looking around, there are warriors everywhere. There are city defenders wearing military armor, local warriors from Linhai City, and teachers and students from other schools. Ye Feng also saw a group of high school students at the rear of the battle line. More than 2 months ago, Ye Feng also played a similar role. However, these are freshmen in the 3rd year of high school and are weaker than Ye Feng at that time. Now they are only responsible for logistics work, such as transporting the wounded. Longteng Academy. I'm envious. It would be great if I could also be admitted to Longteng Academy in the future. We must learn from Senior Ye Feng and get good grades in the future. Hey! Isn't that Senior Ye Feng? Where is it? What about the Longteng Academy team? It's true. I saw his photo on the honorary monument, and it's really him. The high school students exclaimed, and then kept shouting for Senior Ye Feng. Ye Feng holds his forehead, how come he looks like an idol star? Ye Feng. People from the nearby Yang Hui University looked over in surprise when they heard the name. They often pay attention to the trends of Longteng Academy, so they also know that among the new students of Longteng, there is one named Ye Feng who is very talented in martial arts. He was promoted to a senior student in just 10 days. But what they didn't expect was that they would dare to call such a student over. No matter how good the talent is, it still needs time to grow. Now I guess it is at the early stage of a military commander, right? In a big scene like resisting sea beasts, if you are not careful, someone will die. If you die here, it will be a huge loss. As the troops approached the front line, the scene became increasingly chaotic. On the battlefield, human warriors and sea beasts fought extremely fiercely. You evil beast! Die! A military general, holding a heavy sword, split a sea beast with 4 large pincers in half with a single slash. There are many similar battles around. Some are sea beasts killed by warriors, and some are warriors who are accidentally killed by sea beasts. You can't move forward anymore, just fight here. Punch said to the students. The closer to the front line, the higher the level of danger, and the number and strength of the sea beasts faced will be greater and stronger. The students' strength is still limited, and it is more suitable to be in the middle line. If they continue to move forward, it will be very dangerous. Junior tutors, stay here to command the students. Senior instructors, follow me to the front line. Pang Chi gave the order and led many senior instructors to continue heading to the front line. Senior instructors have the strength of King Wu, so they can be more confident on the front line. As for the junior instructor, he is only the peak military commander, so it is just right to stay here and command many students. Yang Hui University has the same arrangement. The students over there, under the leadership of junior instructors, began to hunt sea beasts. Longteng Academy, not to be outdone, displayed their weapons and prepared for battle. Ye Feng, follow me closely and don't stay too far away from me. Deng Qingfeng told Ye Feng. He was Ye Feng's junior tutor before, but Ye Feng was promoted to senior student too quickly, otherwise he would still be his student now. However, in his opinion, Ye Feng's current strength should be the weakest in the team, so he said this specifically. Ye Feng scratched his head, actually, I don't need to. Be careful over there. Deng Qingfeng noticed the danger nearby, shouted loudly, and rushed over with weapons in hand. Other students around him also went to help and fought with hundreds of general-level sea beasts. At this time, a harsh cry came from near Ye Feng. A huge crab-like sea beast, with its pincers 2 meters long, clamped down on Ye Feng. Ye Feng's eyes turned cold, and he cut off 2 huge crab claws with a knife, then cut them into 2 with another knife. Find the treasure chest first. Ye Feng did not forget the main purpose of coming here this time. Whether it's a blue arrow or a purple arrow, they all point in the same direction. Front. Teacher, I'll go over there and have a look. Ye Feng said a word and rushed towards the front line. Wait. Ye Feng, what are you doing? That's the front line over there, it's very dangerous for you to go there. Deng Qingfeng shouted loudly. But now that he was entangled by the sea beast, he could only shout to ask Ye Feng to come back quickly. Ye Feng seemed not to have heard, and still ran quickly. Deng Qingfeng was anxious and his classmates were stunned. He never expected that Ye Feng would suddenly do something like this. You're crazy. Who does he think he is? King Wu? He actually rushed to the front line. Haha, isn't it just to quickly upgrade to a senior student? It's so swollen that I can't even tell how much I weigh. When people from Yanghui University saw this scene, they were shocked and started discussing it heatedly, shaking their heads repeatedly. I feel that Ye Feng's behavior is the same as sending someone to death. Look. He's going to be finished. Ye Feng. Be careful. Everyone saw a huge sea beast, which looked like a sea lion and looked like a hill. It opened its bloody mouth and bit Ye Feng in one bite. Ye Feng didn't seem to see it and didn't even turn his head. The knife in his hand moved, drew a sharp arc, and hit the sea lion's neck. The sea lion didn't even have time to howl in agony before Ye Feng chopped off the huge head. Sheath the sword and move on. Boom! The sea lion's body, like a mountain of meat, slowly fell down. Chapter 63. 1 knife in seconds. Everyone who saw this scene was stunned. If you read it correctly, the sea beast just now has definitely reached the peak of general level. Moreover, it is the type that is big and round, has relatively high defense, and is difficult to kill. But despite this, he was still killed instantly by Ye Feng. Isn't Ye Feng's strength stronger than that sea beast? How long has it been? He has actually grown to this point. Deng Qingfeng felt unbelievable. Think about it, not long ago, Ye Feng was his student. The teacher-student relationship lasted for 10 days, and Ye Feng was promoted to a senior student. After some time passed, he actually became stronger than him? He thought for a moment, if he faced that sea beast, he would definitely not be able to kill it with one blow. Even if you can win, it will still take many rounds of death battle. In such a comparison, you can tell who is stronger and who is weaker at a glance. Everyone at Longteng University was shocked, and those at Yanghui University were even more shocked. Thinking that Ye Feng, who was just making fun of him, was risking his own death, he didn't expect to be slapped in the face all of a sudden. How can this be to risk death? He clearly has the strength. I instantly felt that trying to steal the limelight from Longteng Academy was simply wishful thinking. Ye Feng didn't care what they thought, he just wanted to open the treasure chest quickly. Follow the arrow, whoever stands in your way will die. Who is this? So brave. Looking at his age, he's still just a student, right? Wearing the school badge of Longteng Academy, it turns out that he is from Longteng Academy. It's so powerful. Killing all the way, many nearby warriors who were fighting fiercely saw such a young but ridiculously strong man. Almost all sea beasts encountered were killed with one blow. Close to the coastline, there are many reefs here. Ye Feng stood in a crevice in the reef, observing the situation ahead. The endless sea level is filled with huge waves, tens of meters high, as if the earth is used as a furnace to boil a pot of sea water, surging violently. Sea beasts, big or small, were overwhelming and densely packed, constantly coming ashore along with the waves. They look different, some are wearing hard armor, some have giant pincers, some are full of tentacles. Countless powerful warriors were on the front line, fighting against many powerful sea beasts. My treasure chest. Ye Feng followed the arrow and looked all the way. I was quickly stunned. The treasure chest is actually in the sea, both of them. How can I drive it in the sea? Ye Feng was speechless. Among the ones that came ashore, there were many king-level sea beasts. If you went into the sea alone, you would probably get dumped. Hey! Wait, there's something going on. Ye Feng discovered that the blue treasure chest arrow was actually moving. This situation has happened twice. When the treasure chest is inside a creature, the treasure chest will move with the creature. Boom! At this time, the waves became more and more turbulent, a small hill protruded, and the sea water crashed down. A huge octopus, hundreds of meters high, rolled its tentacles and climbed onto the coast. Netherworld giant octopus. It's so big, it can reach the peak of king level. Many martial kings nearby exclaimed. If there is a strong person from the Wuzong here at this time, it would be easy to kill him. But the problem is that the number of strong men above Wuzong is relatively small, and they have more important tasks at this time and are not on the coast. Go! Let's kill it! Several martial kings from Yanghui University joined forces to kill the netherworld giant octopus. Bang 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 bang. The netherworld giant octopus swung its long tentacles and struck at it, but the martial kings dodged to avoid it. Let's go too. Several martial kings from Longteng Academy, not to be outdone, also attacked the netherworld giant octopus. King Wu cannot fly, but his powerful explosive power makes him jump dozens of meters high, making up for the difference in size. But, things didn't go well. As the battle continued, it became impossible to capture the netherworld giant octopus. They are often forced back by the tentacles, and must be careful of its ink jets. If it is sprayed by ink, it will have strong corrosive power, and even King Wu's body will not be able to withstand it. More importantly, it is too high. You have to attack its brain to kill it quickly. But it was too huge, reaching hundreds of meters, and King Wu could only jump up to tens of meters. It's also very dangerous to do this, as you can't rely on your strength in the air, and if you're attacked, it's almost difficult to dodge. The situation reached an impasse. Ye Feng, who was observing from a distance, stared intently at the netherworld giant octopus. To be more precise, stare at its head. There is a faint blue light emitting from the position of its head. The blue treasure chest is inside. I have to take action, kill this guy quickly. If King Wu over there can kill it quickly, Ye Feng will be happy to pick it up. But he couldn't win it for a long time, and Ye Feng was afraid that something might happen. If it returns to the sea, it will be even more difficult to kill. Thinking of this, Ye Feng looked around. This place is located in the gap between the rocks, and no one pays attention to it. Yunsangtan, cover me. Following Ye Feng's instructions, the Yunsang vine with 4 vines quickly wrapped around Ye Feng's body, covering every place. Wrap Ye Feng's entire body, including his face, tightly, leaving only necessary holes for observing the outside world. It looked like he was wearing a suit of armor with extremely high coverage. Even those who were familiar with him would find it difficult to recognize his identity. In addition to Su Chanyi, she knew that Ye Feng owned Yunsang vine. Ye Feng suddenly stepped on the ground, and his body was like a cannonball, rushing towards the netherworld giant octopus. Several martial kings who were fighting fiercely suddenly discovered that there was such a person wearing a blue armor approaching. Because qi and blood were surging at this time, and the breath could not be restrained and hidden, it was seen that Ye Feng's qi and blood warrior was only at the peak of a military commander. You are a military commander, why are you here? Go back. Whoever dares to come here to fight fiercely is not King Wu. A little general, even if he ran to the front line, actually came over to see a powerful netherworld giant octopus here. If you pull any tentacle over, you're probably going to be beaten to death. Is it useful to wear a full set of armor? In the face of absolute crushing strength, any armor is useless. Even advanced armor is the same. Because even if the armor is not broken, the shock will kill you. Only Su Chanyi was slightly stunned when she saw Ye Feng. But she was not too surprised that Ye Feng would come here. She is clear about Ye Feng's strength. Whoosh! At this time, a long tentacle quickly drew towards Ye Feng. Careful! The martial kings exclaimed. They knew there would be such a result. It was too late to rescue him. The attack speed of the nether giant octopus was very fast, almost in the blink of an eye, it hit Ye Feng. Everyone thought that Ye Feng would be whipped away directly. However, he saw Ye Feng move and dodge the attack. He flicked the long knife and the light of the knife flashed, cutting off a section of the tentacle. The giant netherworld octopus howled angrily and drew out more tentacles. Humph! It's time to end. Chapter 64. Ye Feng snorted coldly, stretched his body speed to the limit, and dealt with the netherworld giant octopus. Finally, seize an opportunity and mobilize your soul power. Demon Breaking Gun. Ning. As soon as the purple-black magic breaking spear appeared, it immediately turned blood-red due to the use of soul skills. The spear, with the power to pierce everything, shot towards the head of the netherworld giant octopus. In desperation, it withdrew some of its tentacles to resist. However, as if it had been predicted in advance, the magic breaking gun suddenly made a curved turn, barely bypassing the tentacle's resistance, and accurately hit its head, piercing directly through it. Puff! Under the stress, its ink sac was released, and a large amount of ink was sprayed. Wherever it passed, the martial kings were frightened and fled. The nearby beaches and rocks were corroded and melted a lot if they were splashed by ink. Boom! The netherworld giant octopus was finally killed, and its huge body fell to the ground, stirring up dust all over the sky. So strong! It turns out that he is still a soul master. Soul master, I have seen only a handful of soul masters in my life. As expected of a soul master, his fighting ability is strong. Whether they were from Yanghui University, Longteng Academy, or other martial kings, they were all amazed. I was scolding him before, why is a military general here? Who knew that he was not only a chi and blood warrior, but also a more powerful soul master? In a few rounds, the netherworld giant octopus that they had been in a stalemate for a long time was quickly killed. Looking back, I feel like a clown. This is the trick I used to kill the evil pharmacist that day. Su Chanyi's bright eyes stared at Ye Feng. That day, she needed to concentrate entirely on dealing with the evil pharmacist. Ye Feng suddenly attacked from behind, but she was unable to react. So when I think about it later, I still don't know exactly what method Ye Feng used. Now I can finally see the whole process, and this is how it was done. Soul masters control soul weapons, can attack from a distance, and can change paths midway, taking them by surprise and with extremely powerful power. After careful analysis, I found that he was much stronger than the warrior. No wonder within the same rank, soul masters beat up warriors. Su Chanyi was a little envious. Ye Feng had dual systems. Under the gaze of everyone, Ye Feng approached the netherworld giant octopus. Just now, after the giant octopus head was opened and it fell to the ground, the blue treasure box fell out of its mind. Fortunately, the treasure chest can only be seen and touched by you, otherwise, the explanation would not make sense. Ye Feng pretended to confirm whether the netherworld giant octopus was dead, but actually touched the treasure chest with his feet. Snap! You opened a blue, high-quality, treasure box. Congratulations on getting 10,000 cards of blood, Deep Sea Spirit SSS, 4/10. Merge. If there are people nearby, they can still integrate. As long as the chi and blood are converged first, when they are fused, the chi and blood will only surge in the body without being noticed by outsiders, and the chi and blood will soar quickly. When the fusion of chi and blood is completed, Ye Feng's total chi and blood will reach an astonishing 36,000 calories. Previously, when I was in the secret realm of the treasure mine, my health was increased to 25,000 cards. During this period of time, Ye Feng has increased his power by 1,000 through his own cultivation, which is equal to 26,000 before fusion. Now add 10,000, which is 36,000. Ye Feng's realm as a chi blood warrior crossed a big realm, and then crossed a small realm. The current state is the middle stage of King Wu. Having surpassed the realm of soul masters are now only at the early stage of king level. As for the second item found in the treasure chest, just 3 SS already let people know that this thing is not simple. The spirit of the deep sea is an SSS level talent. Those with this talent will have an incomparable affinity for the water element. Especially when entering water, such as the sea, it feels more like a fish in water. There are 2 more terrifying advantages. For example, you can dive into the deep sea without fear of water pressure. Even if it is a place 10,000 meters deep and the water pressure is extremely terrifying, you can dive there without using any equipment for protection. The second benefit is that it can absorb oxygen from the water through the skin. For King Wu, he can hold his breath for an hour. But if a fight occurs underwater, oxygen will be consumed quickly and it will not be able to sustain for that long. It's different with the deep sea spirit. It can absorb oxygen from the water and can stay underwater for a long time. However, what we have now is not the complete version of deep sea spirit. The suffix contains the word 4/10, which means that only about 40% of the effect is obtained. Ye Feng was not surprised, but the blue treasure chest could only contain a damaged version. In the future, you may be able to open more advanced treasure chests and upgrade to the full version. Regardless of the current incomplete version, the effect is somewhat reduced, but it still has many advantages over others. The nearby martial king never expected that in a short period of time, Ye Feng would improve his strength in various ways and become stronger than when he arrived. Everyone wanted to come over and say hello. He was a powerful soul master who was worth making friends with. But now is not the time for small talk at all. The nearby sea beasts are flooding over again. Kill. The martial kings fought again. Su Chanyi took advantage of the killing to get close to Ye Feng intentionally or unintentionally. Why are you here? Her voice was as soft as a mosquito's moan, and only Ye Feng could hear it. Let's see if you will be picked up by a sea beast. Ye Feng joked. You were snatched away by a sea beast. Su Chanyi said angrily. Careful. Ye Feng's eyes narrowed, and the magic-breaking spear passed by Su Chanyi's ear and was nailed to the head of a sea beast. I almost got bitten when I said no. That's not because you distracted me. Su Chanyi's ability to deflect blame has always been good. Where are the principal and the others? Ye Feng scanned the coastline and did not find Principal Pang Qi, nor did he find other powerful people of the same level. They went into the sea. Su Chanyi explained, there must be a reason why the sea area was shaken twice in a short period of time, and sea beasts came ashore in large numbers. They dived into the seabed to find out the reason, otherwise even if they cope with it this time, they will not be able to survive. I can't rest assured that there may be another time. Ye Feng nodded, feeling that it made sense. Looking in the direction of the sea, the purple arrow extends all the way into the sea. The purple treasure chest is always at the bottom of the sea. If you want to open it, you have to dive down. If you are so yearning for it, just dive down and take a look. Seeing Ye Feng staring at the sea, looking eager to try, Su Chanyi deliberately joked. Okay, I'll go take a look right now. After Ye Feng finished speaking, he went to the sea. Hey! I was talking nonsense. Su Chanyi was stunned, she just said it casually. I don't really want Ye Feng to go down. The bottom of the sea is so dangerous, how can you go down there? No, this guy must be trying to scare me. Su Chanyi thought this again. Based on her understanding of Ye Feng, this person was sometimes very mean-spirited, and it was very possible that he was deliberately trying to scare her. Humph! I won't be fooled. I won't care about you. I'll see you run back in despair. Su Chanyi put her hands on her hips and looked at Ye Feng who was walking away. Then he saw Ye Feng casually kill a few approaching sea beasts, then he jumped and plunged into the sea. Su Chanyi. Chapter 65. Ye Feng entered the sea water and immediately realized the benefits of the spirit of the deep sea, this talent. When his skin comes into contact with sea water, he can absorb oxygen from it, making him feel no suffocation at all. Swimming in the water actually feels comfortable, just like a fish that can stay in the water for a long time. Ye Feng casually moved his body, just like a barracuda diving quickly. At this time, in the surrounding waters, several sea beasts noticed Ye Feng. A human being dares to sneak into their territory. I'm really tired of living. Suddenly, the sea beasts approached Ye Feng, opening their bloody mouths to bite Ye Feng. Court death! Ye Feng thought secretly in his heart, and launched an attack with the long knife in the water. Originally, when fighting underwater, the resistance of the water would weaken the attack power and the sensitivity of the movements to a certain extent. But possessing the spirit of the deep sea and being in perfect harmony with the water element, Ye Feng's movements are as light as those on the coast. King Wu's momentum exploded, and his long sword carried infinite power, slashing at the vital points of these sea beasts. The bright red blood dyed the surrounding water red, and they were all killed by Ye Feng with one blow. The sea beasts further away were attracted by the movement here and the smell of blood, and quickly swarmed over. There are a lot of them, hundreds of them, and the ones further away are still approaching here. If this goes on, it will be endless and endless. Ye Feng has not forgotten that he came down to find the purple treasure chest, not to kill the sea beasts, so he cannot always get entangled with them here. Ye Feng suddenly stepped on the water with the soles of his feet, and his body swayed. With an extremely smooth movement, his body ejected and shot towards the depths. The speed was already fast enough, but Ye Feng seemed to dislike it for not being fast enough, and directly condensed the magic-breaking gun. The soul power drove the magic-breaking gun and stabbed forward. Ye Feng held the magic-breaking gun tightly with his hand, and his whole body was driven faster and faster. With such a shape, it looks like a swordfish swimming quickly. The sea beasts that surrounded him were all dumbfounded. What kind of operation is this? A human being, when he arrived at their territory, actually swam faster than them? After a while, they were all left behind, unable to catch up. I can't even see my figure anymore, what else can I do? Of course, give up the pursuit. While Ye Feng was swimming, a new sea beast appeared in front of him. When the sea beast saw Ye Feng, it thought it was the rations that had arrived and blocked Ye Feng in front of him. Whoosh! Ye Feng's speed did not slow down, he grabbed the magic-breaking gun and stabbed it directly. The powerful piercing power allowed Ye Feng to penetrate through the middle of the sea beast's body with his gun. Want to block it? Can you block it? Ye Feng followed the purple arrow, moving forward and downward at the same time. Until I dived thousands of meters deep, I finally hit the bottom. From a distance, we can see a large number of sea beasts, very large in size. They are wandering above a trench, seeming to be guarding something and not leaving anyway. Some of these sea beasts can emit light, providing a light source that allows Ye Feng to see clearly what's going on over there. Otherwise, at this depth, there is almost no light source and everything is pitch black. Near the sea beast, Ye Feng also saw several figures. It's human. Each of these human beings is a strong martial artist, including Pang Qi, the principal of Longteng Academy, the principal of Yanghui University, and those from the martial arts realm from other forces. It turns out that this is where they went to the sea. Ye Feng didn't get close, just watched from a distance. The Wuzongs over there exchanged looks with each other and matched their gestures to express what they wanted to say. The reason why sea beasts gather here is this trench. If you want to find out, you have to go down and find out. But there are so many sea beasts guarding here, it's impossible to get close. They communicate. Before coming down, they thought at first that some secret passage under the sea was shaking, causing a large number of sea beasts to come out. But after coming down, I found that this was not the case. After tracing all the way, we came to this trench. The trench is like a canyon, bottomless. I don't know what happened and why so many sea beasts were attracted to guard the top of the trench. Many more ran up the coast and attacked humans everywhere. Everything remains a mystery. They have tried several times to rush towards the trench. But there are really too many sea beasts over there, and every one of them is not weak and has a king level. If it were on the shore, the king level sea beast could definitely be killed with the strength of their martial sect. But now, they are thousands of meters underwater, and the surrounding water pressure is extremely terrifying. They need to use a lot of energy and blood to resist the water pressure, coupled with the resistance in the water, and the inability to breathe. Due to various influences, their strength could not be fully utilized, which was greatly reduced. We have a small number of people on our side and a large herd of beasts on the other side, so the situation is temporarily stagnant. Try again. Okay. Kill him. Several strong men from the Wuzong sect attacked the group of sea beasts. The group of sea beasts over there once again resisted desperately. Some were killed by the strong men of Wuzong, and more king beasts came over. The martial sects have no way to get close to the trench, let alone go in to find out. Ye Feng observed this situation for a while and discovered this situation. Without further delay, Ye Feng checked the arrow of the treasure chest again. Nearby, the arrow disappeared to the bottom of something, where there was a large rock. What's going on? Could it be that the treasure chest is pressed under a rock? With doubts, Ye Feng opened the stone. Hey! There is actually a hole. After Ye Feng opened the stone, he found that there was a hole about 1 meter in diameter, going vertically downward. He didn't know where it would eventually lead. It was blocked by a big rock just now, so I didn't know that there was another cave entrance here. Then you can only go down and take a look. Ye Feng entered the cave. Before diving down, he lifted the big stone and put it on his head. While diving down, he covered the stone again. In the passage, Ye Feng's body continued to sink. It is roughly vertical, with only some places tilted. It felt like it had sunk for a long distance, at least more than 3,000 meters, and the passage gradually flattened and became wider, finally allowing Ye Feng to stand up. A purple light source appeared in front of me, flickering, sometimes suddenly very strong, sometimes suddenly dimming. Strange, why do you feel a little numb in your body? Ye Feng frowned and cautiously approached the light source. Holding the long knife tightly in his hand, the magic breaking gun is also on standby at any time. Whenever there is danger, he will attack immediately. Until he was near the exit, Ye Feng finally saw it clearly. This channel actually leads directly to the bottom of the trench. There is a flat area below, like the bottom of a canyon. Sizzle. There was a sizzling sound of electricity coming from over there, and the purple electric light kept flashing. No wonder there is purple light, no wonder it feels numb. Ye Feng's eyes widened a bit, and his body muscles tensed up. Chapter 66. Over there, I saw a huge figure that was close to the ground. It has a flat body with a pair of wings, and the whole body resembles an oval leaf. Under its head, on the inside of its pectoral fins, there was a crackling sound, and a purple electric light burst out. The electric arc carries powerful power, surrounds the body, and radiates in all directions. If you are far away, you can give people an electric shock. If you are closer, the weaker ones will be electrocuted directly. Purple Thunder Ray. Deep in the trench, there is a purple thunder ray. Judging from its size and the power of electricity it releases, it turns out to be a Lord-level sea beast. Lord, comparable to a strong human martial artist. Now it is in its home field, and water is a favorable environment for it. The thunder and lightning it releases can be transmitted in the water and disperse far away, which is equivalent to forming an electric field, making it difficult for people to get close. So even if Wuzong comes, it will be difficult to deal with it. Ye Feng even suppressed all the movements. Normally, Ye Feng would leave immediately if he didn't want to provoke such a Lord-level sea beast. But the problem is, the purple treasure chest is in the belly of the purple thunder ray. At first, I thought that the purple light in its body was the cause of the purple thunder and lightning. Now I looked carefully and found that it was not all purple lightning. There was a place where the purple light formed a group, and it did not flash as fast as thunder and lightning. There was obviously a difference. In addition, the arrow of the purple treasure box points to the body of the electric ray, and it can be directly confirmed that the treasure box is inside the body of the purple thunder electric ray. Ye Feng was speechless. It was inside his body again. What should I do to open it? It can be said that the previous netherworld giant octopus was within the range that I could deal with. But now the purple thunder ray, a lord-level sea beast, is so powerful, can it still be killed? Ye Feng felt very difficult. Or, wait for the Wuzong above to clear away all the sea beasts in the trench, and then come down to deal with this electric ray. I will wait for them to kill the electric ray and then find a way to open the treasure chest. This seems to be the only way left. Hey! At this time, Ye Feng noticed that something was wrong with the purple thunder ray. It stayed in that position the whole time and didn't move much. The electric light on its body kept flashing, and it seemed that the brightness seemed to be weakened compared to just now. Ye Feng continued to observe and soon made a new discovery. The ball of light representing the treasure chest was actually moving, and soon slipped out of its reproductive hole. Holy crap! A treasure chest! If he hadn't been unable to speak, Ye Feng would have almost screamed. No, it's not all treasure chests, but little electric rays. Electric rays are ovoviviparous, and the eggs develop into fetuses inside the mother's body and then regenerate. The little electric ray that was born was motionless and breathless. Ye Feng understood everything. This electric ray is giving birth, but after giving birth for so long, it's still a stillbirth. In the body of the stillborn little electric ray, the purple treasure box was inside, so just now we saw that the purple thunder electric ray gave birth to the treasure box. Where do you put this Matryoshka doll? After giving birth to the baby, purple thunder ray discovered that it was actually a stillborn baby. She was a little emotionally unstable, and the purple thunder and lightning flashed more and more. However, because it gave birth to a baby and it was difficult to give birth, it consumed too much energy. At this time, it was very weak and its power was somewhat insufficient. If it doesn't leave, Ye Feng won't be able to go over and open the treasure chest. In this case, take advantage of its illness and kill it. She had just given birth, was in a weak state, and her strength had dropped significantly, so it was a good time to take action. If you wait any longer and wait for it to recover to some extent, it will be even more difficult. Thinking of this, Ye Feng immediately took action. Boom! A powerful momentum erupted, and the magic breaking gun shot him suddenly. The purple thunder ray was actually very alert. After sensing the danger, it immediately glided and turned sideways to avoid the attack. The magic breaking spear was thrust straight into the ground, and by chance, it hit the breathless little electric ray on the ground. Ye Feng immediately took back the demon breaking gun, and the body of the little electric ray was also brought back. Seeing this situation, the purple thunder electric ray became angry. Even if it was just a corpse, he would not allow anyone to take away the little electric ray. Regardless of his physical weakness, the electric light on his body flashed and he quickly chased the returning demon breaking gun. However, the magic breaking gun was very fast, crossing the distance and penetrating the hole in an instant. Obtaining the body of the little electric ray means that the treasure chest is also obtained. Tear open the body of the little electric ray and touch the treasure chest inside. Snap! You opened a purple treasure box. Congratulations on getting the 5th level soul weapon bailing shuttle. It has been a long time since I last obtained the demon breaking gun. The demon breaking gun is only level 3, which is a bit insufficient to use. I finally got a soul weapon again, and it was level 5, and I could use it for a long time. This soul weapon is purple as a whole, like the lightning of an electric ray. It is pointed at the front and wide at the back, shaped like a shuttle and a flying knife, If you look carefully, you will find that there are multiple components, that is, 100 shuttle knives, assembled into a baling shuttle. Sizzle. Crackling. Outside the cave entrance, purple thunder and lightning flashed. Boom boom boom. The purple thunder ray is too big, and the hole here is too small to accommodate it. Therefore, the entrance of the cave suffered a disaster. It was bombarded by purple lightning and collapsed, and many electric arcs penetrated from the entrance of the cave. Ye Feng retreated continuously to avoid being attacked by Zidian. Let me try the power of the baling shuttle. The soul power was released, entangled with the baling flying shuttle, and headed towards the purple thunder ray. Boom! A bolt of purple thunder struck at the shuttle. However, before it hit, the flying shuttle suddenly disintegrated and turned into 100 shuttle knives. Hundreds of cold lights spread out like meteors and hit the purple thunder ray instantly. From all parts of it, assassinate it. The lightning stingray was in pain and flapped its wings like crazy. Arcs of lightning struck everywhere, the trench walls collapsed, and countless silt was stirred up, making everything covered in mist. Ye Feng did not stop, controlling the baling flying shuttle, scurrying around the body of the purple thunder ray, especially its vital parts, which were riddled with holes. The movement gradually calmed down, and the purple thunder ray lay motionless. The electric light was very weak, and it gradually lost its breath. Such a Lord-level sea beast died in Ye Feng's hands. If it were not for the fact that it was unable to produce offspring, resulting in a weak state and reduced strength, it would be very difficult to kill. The movement below has attracted the attention of the sea beast above. They will gather above to protect the purple thunder rays from giving birth. At this time, they discovered something was going on, and immediately they couldn't care too much, and they all headed towards the trench. Ye Feng noticed this situation and was ready to leave immediately. Hey? What is this? Ye Feng discovered that there was a glowing object in the middle of the purple thunder ray's body. Without having time to think too much, he controlled the shuttle and cut open its body, and a crystal core with flashing lightning fell out. Ye Feng took away the crystal core, retreated from the original entrance, and evacuated the trench. After a while, a large number of king beasts swarmed down and filled the trench. Angry roars spread from the trench, and the sea water boiled and washed away in all directions. Chapter 67. After the large group of sea beasts came down, they found that their lord had been killed, and they roared angrily. But soon, with a certain IQ, they realized that the lord could be killed, and the murderer must be ridiculously strong, so at the level of king beasts like them, they would not be opponents. With a huff, he headed back to the top of the trench. Above the trench, a group of martial arts sects were originally curious as to why the king beasts suddenly went to the bottom of the trench, and were thinking of following them to have a look. As soon as I started to set off, I was caught in a rush. A large number of sea beasts swarmed up again. Everyone used their moves and was about to start a new round of fighting, but they were shocked to find that the sea beasts did not go towards them this time. He actually avoided them, dispersed in all directions, swam farther and farther, and disappeared into the vast sea. Run away! The martial sects looked at each other. What happened? They exchanged glances and then went down to the depths of the trench. When they came to the bottom, they suddenly saw the figure of the purple thunder ray. All bodies tensed up, ready to attack. No. Dead. After taking a closer look, I found that the purple thunder ray was actually dead. They approached and inspected the body of the purple thunder ray, and found that there were countless holes all over its body, and its body was riddled with holes cut by sharp blades. With their knowledge, they can tell a lot of information just from the wounds. Soul Master. Judging from the wounds, it was probably the Soul Master's method. They looked at each other with horrified looks in their eyes. It's not that there are no Soul Masters, it's just that they are rare. The Soul Masters who can kill Lord-level sea beasts are even rarer. When humans go to the sea and fight on the home ground of sea beasts, their strength is greatly reduced. They know this best. Therefore, the mysterious Soul Master who killed the purple thunder ray must be very strong, stronger than them anyway. They believe that in such an environment, fighting alone, they will not be the opponent of the Lord-level purple thunder ray. But a new question emerged. They were the first ones to reach the top of the trench. There were many sea beasts guarding it, but they didn't see anyone approaching the trench and breaking down. Where did that Soul Master come down from, and where did he retreat from? Will there be a second entrance? Thinking of this, they looked around and soon discovered a passage. One of them tried to go in and found the body of a small electric ray that had been torn in half. They understood a lot more instantly. As a lord, Purple Thunder Ray is the strongest person in the surrounding area. He can summon sea beasts in a certain surrounding sea area and order them to do things. When the Purple Thunder Ray is close to giving birth, it begins to summon sea beasts to guard this sea area so that it can wait for the birth with peace of mind. Over time, more and more sea beasts gathered, but there were only so many resources, not even enough to eat, and some even started to attack each other. Eventually they swarmed ashore and began to attack and devour humans, leading to incidents of sea beasts coming ashore. More than 2 months ago, a sea monster came ashore. At that time, it was detected that a secret passage under the sea was expanding, and I thought it was all due to this. Now it seems that it may have something to do with Purple Thunder Ray's expecting to give birth. It took so long because the delivery date was delayed. She could have given birth 2 months earlier, but it had been difficult to give birth until today. It was still a stillbirth, which made Purple Thunder Ray weak. However, the martial arts clans are not clear about this. Thinking it was just a normal birth process, a powerful soul master came down from this secret passage and killed the Purple Thunder Ray and the children it gave birth to. The warriors did not stay down here anymore, and worked together to drag the body of the Purple Thunder Ray to the sea. Wherever he passed, all the sea beasts on the bottom of the sea stayed away. Their lord is dead, how dare they make a mistake? When the body was dragged up, out of the water, and placed on the beach, the sea beasts that had come ashore were also frightened. The lords are all dead, and they are still having fun. They all retreated into the sea, rolling as far as they could. As a large number of sea beasts gradually dispersed, the crisis of this beast tide was lifted. The warriors on the coast all cheered excitedly to celebrate this victory. The crowd looked at several powerful martial artists with admiration in their eyes. It was them who, regardless of their own danger, dived into the deep sea alone and killed the Lord Sea Beast below. The sea beasts dispersed without a leader. If it weren't for these powerful warriors, it would be hard to say whether they could win. Each and every strong martial artist felt embarrassed to be looked at with such admiration. How could they kill this Purple Thunder Ray? If only they had this ability. It's a pity that they were blocked outside the trench for a long time, and they didn't even get a glimpse of the battle scene below. Ahem. Pang Chi coughed lightly. Everyone, you have also seen that the beast tide was resolved only because the Lord was killed. But in fact, we didn't kill this Purple Thunder Ray. At their level, face is still very important, and it is impossible to pretend to be someone else. Furthermore, if that mysterious soul master was nearby and exposed him on the spot, he would be embarrassed to see anyone by then. What? You didn't kill me. You are so strong. If you didn't kill me, who else could have killed me? Yes, you are the strongest among the people here. Who else could it be if you weren't? Everyone around was stunned. Besides these powerful martial artists, who else could they be? Actually, we don't know. We were above the Lord's lair at that time, but when we got down, it had been killed by a mysterious strong man. That strong man is probably a soul master. He is so powerful that we can be ashamed of ourselves. Pang Chi and others explained aloud. The crowd naturally exclaimed again. Soul master. Many of them have never seen a soul master. Such a powerful soul master is always a big shot no matter where he goes. It's just that they didn't show up despite doing good things. This made them puzzled and at the same time they felt deeply admired. If it were them, they would definitely come out to show off their presence, put on a show, and receive all kinds of worship. Soul master? Could it be that guy Ye Feng again? Among the crowd in the distance, Su Chanyi was surprised. But I felt something was wrong, that was a lord, not a king-level sea beast. A lord has triggered such a large-scale beast tide. It is not simple when you think about it. Even the principal thinks he is inferior. How could it be Ye Feng? But for some reason, the image of Ye Feng suddenly plunged into the sea appeared frequently in her mind. Apart from the principal and other martial arts experts, Ye Feng was the only one who dived into the sea. It was not the principal who did it, and since he was a soul master, all the fingers were pointed at Ye Feng. Hey! Where are you? Su Chanyi found a secluded corner and made a video call to Ye Feng. The call is connected and the screen appears. Ye Feng's body has clear muscle lines, and the wet clothes in his hands are twisted like twists. Why don't you get dressed first before you get connected? Su Chanyi's face suddenly turned red. Snap! The call was cut off by her. Chapter 68. In Linhai City. In the old house where he used to live, Ye Feng shook the twisted clothes hard and flattened them. It was almost done and he put them back on. From the tactical backpack, he took out the crystal core dug out from the body of the purple thunder ray. This purple thunder crystal core is rich in thunder energy. If I gain thunder talent or physical fitness in the future, I can use it to absorb it. Ye Feng said secretly, and then put the things away again, keeping them if they are not needed for the time being. Then he called Su Chanyi back. Why did you want to see me just now? Purple Thunder Ray, were you the one who killed it? Su Chanyi lowered her voice and asked directly. Yes. Ye Feng answered simply. Anyway, Su Chanyi knew that he had the identity of a soul master, so there was no need to hide it. Su Chanyi was stunned for a while, with an expression that was indeed the case. That's the Lord, and it's underwater. The principal and others said they couldn't kill him, but you actually did it. She was still a little unbelievable. Especially when I saw that the people around me, whether they were strong men of the martial sect, king of martial arts, or those with lower strength, all had the same expression of awe, and I was curious about who was the one who took action. She felt that this situation was a bit ridiculous. If they knew that the person who took action was Ye Feng, a freshman at Longteng Academy, I wonder what they would think. After hanging up the phone, Ye Feng went out. Go to Qingxi Road, women grocery store. Before coming over, Ye Feng promised He Xiling that he would help her check on his father, He Wang. Walking this road again, Ye Feng felt a lot of emotions. The last time I came here was just over 2 months ago, but my mood was completely different. In my previous self, everything had just begun, and I didn't know what would happen in the future. In my current self, I had even killed one of the Lord Sea Beasts. Although the situation was quite special, it was a fact that I had successfully killed him. Is this going to be demolished and rebuilt? Walking on the Bluestone Road, Ye Feng discovered that workers were demolishing some buildings and shops on the roadside. The sea monsters outside the city are overwhelming and the fight is fierce, but for the ordinary people in the city, they have to do whatever they have to do, and they have no effect. Ye Feng continued walking and finally came to a women grocery store. Excuse me, what do you need to buy? A young man inside greeted Ye Feng. He Wang, who was sorting things, also looked up. Ye Feng, why are you here? An unexpected smile appeared on his face. Seeing that He Wang knew him, the young man who had mistaken Ye Feng for a guest just now stepped aside and looked at Ye Feng curiously. He was the guy hired by He Wang to help, filling the vacancy that Ye Feng had previously had part-time here. Uncle He, I just happened to come over here to see how you are lately. Ye Feng greeted with a smile. Okay, it's all good. He said it was good, but actually he looked a little worried. Did Xiling come with you? He Wang had expectations in his eyes. Ye Feng shook his head. She needs to stay at school and can't come over. The expectation in He Wang's eyes turned into disappointment. But he quickly adjusted and said with a smile, studying is important, and it will be the same if I come back when I have time in the future. By the way, Uncle He, I saw outside that some shops are being demolished. Are they ready to be demolished and rebuilt? Ye Feng asked curiously. Speaking of this, He Wang's original smile gradually faded away. Just as he was about to say something, noisy footsteps suddenly came from outside. Several tall men with muscular faces and tattoos on their arms strode in from outside the store. Old guy, the time limit for your consideration has expired. Make a decision quickly. I can still give you good advice now, but you have to be so shameless again, haha. Speaking of this, the leader leaned forward slightly and looked down at He Wang. He put his hand on the glass surface of the counter, and no matter how hard he applied it, several cracks appeared on the glass. The young clerk was frightened by the scene in front of him, and his face turned a bit ugly. He unconsciously took a few steps back, his Adam's apple rolling. You guys. He Wang suppressed his anger and said, if you, the Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce, want to build a mall here, you should show due sincerity. You only offer 1/10 of the normal purchase price. How can I sell the store? Forced buying and selling happened all the time. He Wang didn't expect that it would happen to him today. The Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce is quite prestigious in Linhai City. They took a fancy to Qingxi Road and wanted to knock down the buildings and rebuild them into a chain of commercial streets. But their bids were very low, almost forceful buying and selling, and they bought stores from many merchants. He Wang naturally refused to comply. Let alone the fact that the price was not in compliance with the rules, even if the price was right, He Wang did not have much intention to sell. This humble shop carries too many memories. Every time he is busy here, it seems as if his wife, who died of illness, is still around. Old guy. Don't think that we don't dare to do anything to you just because you have a daughter who has been admitted to Longteng Academy. Let me tell you. Our Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce not only has masters of martial arts, but also strong military generals. The son of the boss of our Chamber of Commerce has been admitted to Yonghui University early. He is already a strong military commander and is now in Linhai City. Your daughter is a martial artist in her early stages, so don't have too many illusions. If I give you a tenth now, you should be satisfied. If the trouble continues, don't even ask for a penny. The tattooed man's eyes were fierce and threatening. Ye Feng, who was nearby, finally understood what happened. No wonder I just felt that uncle he was a little preoccupied. Hurry up and sign this resale contract. The strong man threw out a piece of contract with an extremely impatient tone. Whoosh! Ye Feng suddenly reached out and snatched the contract away. Without even looking at it, he tore it into pieces and slapped the strong man on the face. I'll give you 3 seconds to get out of my way. When I get back, I'll tell your boss a message. Don't try to open this store in the future. At the same time, I'll bring you a generous gift and apologize in person. Otherwise, not to mention the generals, even if King Wu comes, they will all get down. Ye Feng's voice was calm, but there was no doubt about it, and his sharp eyes were like a sharp blade, piercing the strong men. Xiao Feng, don't conflict with them, their Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce has many warriors. He Wang is anxious. The Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce has a great business and has raised many warriors. Even the few strong men in front of him have the strength of warriors and are not ordinary people. The waiter next to him had an even more astonished expression on his face. Even a small person like him knew about the behemoth Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce. The other party also said that there were even strong military commanders. But despite this young man who was younger than himself dared to speak to them like this. Don't want to die? Chapter 69. Where did you come from? You dare to talk to me like this and tear up the contract. I think you are impatient. The tattooed brawny man spoke with a fierce tone and slapped him in the face. Just as his eyes blurred, his hand stopped in mid-air, because at some point, Ye Feng had also raised his hand and took his hand. No matter how hard he struggled, he remained motionless, as if he was imprisoned there. Ye Feng exerted a little force, and with the sound of bones breaking, the tattooed man screamed repeatedly, and his entire face was distorted. With one kick, he flew backwards and landed on the road outside. His right hand was limp and drooping, obviously wasted, and the pain made him curl up into a shrimp, where he kept wailing. Bang bang bang! Ye Feng kicked a few more times, and the remaining people in the store also flew out. In just the blink of an eye, the change happened so fast. The few strong men who were shouting one moment were all lying outside wailing in the next moment. It's better to hold back your strength, otherwise you could be kicked to death. Both He Wang and the young clerk were so stunned that they could not speak for a long time. The miserable howls of several people outside attracted nearby pedestrians. Aren't these the thugs from Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce? Yes, it's them. Why are they lying here? He was beaten. He flew out of Lao He's shop. Well done. They forced me to buy the store my family bought 20 years ago, and the price they gave me was not even higher than my purchase price at that time. Although I am relieved, Lao He is going to be in trouble. The Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce cannot offend. These are just low-level thugs. They also have stronger thugs, all of whom are warriors. The nearby audience was talking a lot, some were applauding, and some were worried about He Wang. What's going on? Suddenly there was a voice nearby. Everyone followed the sound and saw a group of people walking towards this direction. The leader was a middle-aged man with a beer belly. Judging from his clothes, he seemed to have a good background. Next to this person, there was a young man who looked somewhat similar to him, with arrogance and confidence between his eyebrows. In addition, there are about a dozen thugs who are strong, full of energy and blood, and have good strength. He is the boss of Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce. The crowd exclaimed and dispersed consciously. It was impossible to come so quickly, it was because I happened to come here. Due to the incident of sea beasts coming ashore, his son came from Yonghui University and took him around to see the ongoing construction here. Unexpectedly, when I came here, I happened to encounter my subordinate being beaten. Boss! Several thugs were wailing and shouting. Who beat you? Boss Jin's face was gloomy. In this shop, there is a young man. The people who were beaten said. Humph. I want to see who is so bold and dares to attack someone from my Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce. Boss Jin snorted coldly and led everyone into women grocery store. It's over, Lao He is finished. Oh. Just say that you can't go against the Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce. It's better to sell the store at a loss than to be punished and forced to sell it. The crowd sighed and felt worried for He Wang. After Boss Jin entered, his eyes immediately locked on Ye Feng. Although there were two young men in the store, the flustered look on the clerk's face showed that they were not the type to do anything. Did you hit him? Boss Jin said coldly. Yes. Ye Feng nodded calmly and continued, you came over to apologize so quickly. It seems that your attitude is quite sincere. What kind of apology are you going to offer? Apologize? I apologize. Boss Jin laughed at Ye Feng's words. They were the ones who were beaten, so they still need to come to the door and apologize in person? What bullshit! Hurry up and sell this store to me for $1. I can still consider not arguing with you. Otherwise, this matter won't be so easy. Boss Jin has a condescending attitude. He has long been used to prostitution for free. Okay, I'll sell it to you, as long as you don't hurt Xiao Feng. He Wang gritted his teeth and agreed to the condition. No matter how powerful Ye Feng was just now, in his opinion, no matter how powerful he was, he could not be more powerful than the Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce. Now that the other party has made this condition, in order for Ye Feng not to be harmed, he can only grit his teeth and agree. After all, Ye Feng would confront them because he came to help. Everything happened because of himself, why not hope that Ye Feng would be hurt because of this? Did I not speak clearly enough? Hurry up and apologize. My patience is limited. Ye Feng's tone also became cold. It's over. He Wang's heart suddenly became cold. This was the first time someone called him out like this, and Boss Jin laughed angrily. Give him some color and see. Boss Jin waved his hand to let the thugs come forward. With his son who is a military commander by his side, he is more confident than ever. This person can only beat a few warriors, how strong can he be? No matter how strong he is, he will never be a match for a military commander. Etc. At this moment, his son Jin Guangshun suddenly stopped many thugs. Ah Shun, with an opponent of this level, you don't need to take action yourself, just let them do it. How can you kill a chicken with a bull's knife? No dad, I think we should talk to them first. Jin Guangshun's tone was very weak, and the look he looked at Ye Feng was filled with fear. Talk? Why talk? I gave them a chance, but they didn't cherish it. Boss Jin waved his hand again. But Jin Guangshun pushed him down and said, Dad, let's come over here and have a chat. The two walked to the edge and whispered. What happened to you today? Boss Jin was confused. This was not like his son's character. Dad, you must not mess with this person. Jin Guangshun said with a bitter face. When he first walked in, he felt that Ye Feng's face looked familiar, but he recognized it after a while. Isn't this Ye Feng from Longteng University? It was also because of the chaos at that time that he only glanced at Ye Feng's face, so he needed to recognize it for a while. At that time, he was fighting against sea beasts outside the city. The scene of Ye Feng killing the peak general level sea beast with one strike was still vivid in his mind. Then he headed towards the front line, very violently. He didn't know what happened when he got to the front line. Anyway, being able to come back now meant that everything was fine. How could the Jin family be able to deal with such a fierce person? Jin Guangshun told his father all the causes and consequences. When Boss Jin heard this, his face instantly collapsed. What should I do? He panicked and the color drained from his face. As a veteran in the business world, he was so panicked for the first time. I thought I just hit a small thorn, but I didn't expect it was an Optimus Prime. Guigui, if you can kill a general level peak sea beast in one blow, you must be the king of martial arts? Such a strong man, how can he fight with others? Thinking of this, he broke out in a cold sweat again. Fortunately, we were in the city and everyone was relatively restrained. If this were placed outside the city, in a place of lawlessness, with his face jumping like that just now, maybe his body would be cold by now. Chapter 70. Boss Jin returned to Ye Feng and smiled awkwardly. Yet, young master Ye Feng, I have offended you a lot just now. I will make amends to you and everyone else. Boss Jin put on a flattering smile, nodded and bowed. He was so arrogant just now, but now he is so humble. Stupid, everyone was dumbfounded. The boss of Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce was so humble. The sudden change of face before and after was so unexpected that people almost couldn't react. Is this still the always aggressive boss Jin? In the future, even if you give me 10 more courages, I won't dare to covet this store. Not only do I not dare, I will also be responsible for protecting this place. I will be anxious to anyone who dares to care about this place. To show my sincerity, I decided to give 1 million as compensation to the owner of Huang. Take out another 10 million and give it to young master Ye Feng as compensation. When Boss Jin said these words, everyone took a breath. He actually paid 11 million as compensation. Boss Jin is famous for being stingy, and he can make him bleed so much. What is the background of that young man? Judging from the compensation ratio, we can tell that it was all because of Ye Feng that Boss Jin suddenly changed his face. You're the one who runs a chamber of commerce. How much sincerity do you have? Ye Feng said calmly. Boss Jin gritted his teeth and said in pain, then double it again. Ye Feng said nothing, but looked at Boss Jin coldly. Boss Jin was so stared at that he broke out in cold sweat. It was so terrifying, as if he was being stared at by a king beast. How about? Young hero, can you give me a price? Boss Jin sounded cautiously. 10 times. Ye Feng said directly. Boss Jin's head felt dizzy. He was just a business owner, not a money printer. Multiplied by 10 times the initial bid, the amount would have exceeded 100 million. To him, it was no small sum. Okay, I'll compensate you at the price you said. When Boss Jin said this, the corners of his eyes couldn't stop twitching. For a profit-seeking businessman, letting him spend money is cutting off his flesh. But despite the heartache, fortunately the matter was finally settled, and Boss Jin breathed a sigh of relief. Who would have thought that bullying an honest person would be backed by King Wu? Boss Jin asked about their bank accounts and then contacted the finance department. Not long after, Ye Feng received a transfer of 100 million. Huang's received 10 million. The moment he received the money, Huang couldn't believe it. He runs this grocery store and is very busy. After excluding costs and expenses, the net profit throughout the year is about 50,000. But now, his assets have skyrocketed by 10 million, which is equivalent to his income of 200 years. Even if he didn't have any idea, once he figured it out, it was Huang's turn to spin. 200 years. He would never live this long in either of his lifetimes. If Huang were asked to describe his mood today, he would only think of one word: roller coaster. I thought it was over, but unexpectedly I flew from hell to heaven. The store was saved and a lot of money was made. As for the other spectators around, their eyes were full of envy. They were envious of Huang for suddenly becoming a multimillionaire, and even more envious of Huang for meeting a strong man. Everyone focused their attention on Ye Feng, their eyes full of awe. It was because of Ye Feng that the Jinhuang Chamber of Commerce could be so humble and pay a huge sum of money to apologize. Then young master Ye Feng, look at us. Boss Jin hesitated, feeling on pins and needles. Go away. Ye Feng waved his hand. I didn't want to have too much dealings with these people, so I just happened to run into them, and there were some twists and turns. With Ye Feng's words, Boss Jin and others were relieved, and it seemed like they were leaving. When things come to an end, everyone should disperse. Ye Feng also said goodbye to Huang. Before leaving, Huang was prepared to give the compensation to Ye Feng, feeling that it was all Ye Feng's credit. But Ye Feng refused. Instead, he gave Huang the key and asked him to help find a decoration team to renovate his old house. It always takes time before and after, and Ye Feng doesn't have time to stay here all the time. Huang was naturally very happy to agree, and he could finally do something for Ye Feng as a way of repaying the favor. Ye Feng was walking casually on the road and saw many workers setting up lanterns and banners on the roadside. After learning that the sea monster crisis was over, the people of Linhai City felt extremely happy and spontaneously held celebrations to express their gratitude to the warriors fighting on the front line. If it weren't for these bloody warriors, it would be difficult for Linhai City to survive this crisis. It is because they are on the front line that we can have peace at this moment. Ye Feng, this way, this way. In the square ahead, a lot of people gathered, and a clear female voice sounded there. Ye Feng looked for the sound. It was a coincidence that I met Su Chanyi, who was walking around, and she waved there. What are you looking at? Ye Feng said as he approached and looked into the crowd. In the middle of the crowd, there was an empty space, and an acrobat was holding a long stick dipped in oil and lighting his head on fire. He danced his arms, and the flames flew up, drawing gorgeous trajectories in the air. There was an oily liquid in his mouth, and he suddenly blew it towards the torch. A ball of flames spurted out of his mouth and shot straight into the sky. Good. There was thunderous applause and the audience cheered. It's very boring to practice all the time. Having the opportunity to watch these folk performances makes me feel relaxed. Su Chanyi had a smile on her face, and she looked very happy. Ye Feng nodded, that's the truth. I'll give it a try too. Su Chanyi suddenly became very interested and squeezed into the crowd. Why are you joining in the fun? Ye Feng held his forehead, thinking about it all the time. While talking, Su Chanyi had already reached the middle and was negotiating with the acrobat. What a beautiful girl! The crowd's eyes lit up. Girl, don't make fun of me. It looks simple, but is actually very difficult to do. I have practiced for more than 20 years before I can be so proficient. You just said you want to play with me, but I will be burned later. I can't afford to pay for it. The acrobat waved his hands repeatedly, looking helpless. Just by looking at Su Chanyi's appearance and temperament, one can tell that she comes from a wealthy family and cannot afford such hard work. It is obviously impossible for her to have learned acrobatics. Hey! Wait! Acrobatics said anxiously. Su Chanyi didn't pay any attention to what he said, and directly took out a new bottle of fuel that he placed nearby. He took a sip and motioned to the acrobat to hand over the torch. No, no, no. The acrobat did not comply. Then he saw that Su Chanyi's skills were working, and she had a fire lotus spirit body, and the fire element was beating. Call. He sprayed upwards, and with the blessing of the fire element in his body, a fire dragon sprayed out more than 10 meters high. Everyone present was dumbfounded, and their mouths were almost dislocated. After the silence, thunderous applause broke out like a landslide and tsunami. The acrobat was even more dumbfounded. If he practiced for another 100 years, he would not be able to reach such a height. He watched Su Chanyi retreating blankly, unable to say a word. How's it going? Did I play well? Su Chanyi said proudly to Ye Feng. Awesome, awesome. Ye Feng only thought it was funny. How could anyone use the fire element to do acrobatics? The two of them wandered around again. The celebration continued until the next day, before the foreign warriors prepared to leave Linhai City. Zhu Jing, Yang Wen, haven't these people been contacted yet? When organizing the team, I found that several people could not be contacted for a long time and seemed to be missing. At this moment, a treasure chest clue popped up in front of Ye Feng's eyes. Chapter 71. Treasure chest clue. In the old town of Linhai City, a purple treasure chest appears. Please go and open it. Old town. Ye Feng saw the treasure chest prompt and muttered to himself. As a Linhai City native, Ye Feng naturally knows where the old city is located. It was in the west of the city, there was a large area, and the buildings there were quite old. It used to be prosperous there, but then an infectious disease appeared and many people died. Those who were still alive moved to other places if they could, and gradually became depressed. Due to the sudden drop in population density and sparsely populated areas, infectious diseases gradually disappeared. Although the disease disappeared, the area never developed again after the depression. Many years have passed, and it is still very backward there, and the people living there are also a mixed bag. Because the buildings are relatively old, people call it the old city. Check how many people are missing. Principal Pang Qi's voice sounded nearby, and he said to the teachers. Before departure, the team was arranged, and each student was led by the instructors. However, there was a citywide celebration yesterday, and the bloody battle with the sea beast had just ended, so it was rare to relax. The people who can come here this time are all senior students or above, and they basically have the strength of the military commander level. With such strength, it is definitely impossible for anything to happen in Linhai City, so we simply let everyone move freely. But when it was time to go back, several people could not be contacted. After an investigation, it was finally discovered that 20 students were missing. At this time, people from Yanghui University came over. Originally, the relationship between the two families was not that good, and there was always a bit of tit-for-tat. However, the situation at this time is special and it is not the time to care about these things. Have any of your students gone missing? Why, you are missing too. That's right. 23 students are missing. There are 20 of us here. After the two families had such a conversation, they immediately realized that something was wrong. If only a few people lost contact, it could be because of something, but now, there are more than 40 people who cannot be contacted in their two universities alone. As a student from a top university, discipline is not too bad, and it is impossible to lose contact with so many people at the same time. What happened? A strong man with a square face and strong blood approached and asked proactively. He is the director of the Longteng City Security Bureau, a strong martial artist, and he was among the members who went to see yesterday. Experts from all walks of life have traveled thousands of miles to come here to help, and now they are ready to leave. Naturally, he needs to come and give them a lift. But now I saw that they seemed to be delayed by something, so I took the initiative to ask. A total of more than 40 students from our two schools have disappeared. Punch said to the chief of security. When the director heard this, he was stunned for a moment, then frowned slightly. Don't worry, I'll have someone investigate right away. In his territory, if something happens to students here, especially these students who come to help fight against sea monsters, the impact will be too great. The director did not dare to delay and immediately notified his police officers to quickly launch an investigation. Visits should be carried out, and monitoring should be checked and monitored. Then, reports of disappearances from other groups were received one after another, and the security chief was under increasing pressure. The number of missing people has exceeded 200. Because of this, everyone continued to delay in Longteng City. Everyone who had nothing to do, formed a team and spontaneously searched for the missing students to see if they could find them. Feng also took this opportunity to escape temporarily. Let's go to the old city first and open the treasure chest first. As you move toward the west of the city, the prosperity gradually decreases. In other places, there are many high-rise buildings, prosperous commerce, and dense population. In the west of the city, the buildings are older and the population density is getting lower and lower. Especially when arriving in the old city, this phenomenon becomes more and more serious. Some old buildings are uninhabited. The glass windows are either broken or completely missing. The exterior walls are peeled off in many places, covered with moss or have black spots attached to them. Purple morning glories climbed along the nearby telephone poles to the top, entangled themselves in the peeling wires, and extended for a long distance. Feng glanced at the purple arrow on the ground and followed it into the old city. Ta-da-da-da. It was broad daylight, the surroundings were quiet, not a single person could be seen, it was like walking in a ghost town, only the sound of Feng's footsteps was left. At the top of a nearby abandoned building, two men stood there, staring at Feng below. Can you see what kind of strength it is? The two of them were fat and thin, and it was the fat man who spoke. The thin man shook his head, I can't tell for the moment. The opponent did not use his energy and blood, and due to the distance, it was impossible to judge the strength. I'll give it a try. There were some scattered stone bricks on the rooftop. The fat man picked up one and weighed it in his hands. He narrowed his eyes slightly, and his already small eyes became more like slits. Whoosh! Throwing it suddenly and forcefully, the stone brick turned into a stream of light, spanning a long distance and reaching the back of Feng's head almost instantly. Just when he was about to be hit, Feng seemed to have eyes on the back of his head. He quickly tilted his head and the stone brick barely missed his scalp. Feng turned around and looked towards the roof. At this moment, the fat and thin people felt that they were not facing each other like a person, but more like a terrifying beast. The cold eyes full of murderous intent were like a sharp sword thrusting towards them. Horrible. So terrible. I thought I was just a passerby, so I tried it casually, but I didn't expect that a dad would emerge from the test. Run! The strength of the two was not low, but they did not dare to hesitate. They jumped up suddenly and were about to jump from the roof of the building to the rooftop of the other side. Boom! A thick fluctuation of chi and blood came from afar. The next moment, the figure jumped from the ground over there like a cannonball, pulling out a string of afterimages. Appearing in the air instantly, intercepting the two people who were halfway through the jump directly from the air. Feng grabbed a person with one hand, swung the person suddenly, and smashed the person into a nearby abandoned building. A big hole was made in the wall, and smoke and dust were billowing and flying in all directions. Before he descended, he condensed the soul soldiers, stepped on them and entered the building, and then put away the soul soldiers again. The fat and thin people were lying on the floor, vomiting blood from their mouths, and were seriously injured. Ye Feng deliberately restrained his strength, otherwise it would be no problem for the two generals to fall to death directly. In the old city, there are few residents and the environment is in decline. It is not surprising that martial arts masters can appear, but the presence of military commanders will inevitably arouse suspicion. In Linhai City, a military general can become the principal of a high school. How come he appears here, and two of them are killed as soon as he appears? Could it be possible that he could be a foreign warrior this time? Ye Feng didn't recognize the two of them and had no impression of them at all. Spare my life. The two of them had blood on their faces, looking at Ye Feng with frightened eyes, and begging for mercy in weak tones. Chapter 72. Who are you? And why did you attack me? Ye Feng looked down at the two of them, his voice cold. We are the residents here. The bricks we threw just now were not intentional. We just threw them casually, thinking that there was no one down there. I didn't expect you to be down there. The fat man endured the pain all over his body and lied. As soon as he finished speaking, he howled again. Ye Feng's foot stepped on the fat man's palm, crushing his flesh to pieces. If you don't tell the truth, I will make your life worse than death. Ye Feng's tone was filled with murderous intent. Anyone who talks about the residents here will know they are lying as soon as they hear it. I said, the attack just now was just to test your strength. The fat man said. Why are you testing my strength? Ye Feng asked, adding, by the way, you'd better finish it all at once, don't wait for me to ask, my patience is limited. Yes. The fat man swallowed. We saw that you came to this old city alone, which is very suitable for arrest. Test your strength. If suitable, we will go down and arrest you. As for why we captured you, we don't know. Anyway, we are only responsible for arresting people and delivering them to the designated place. The rest is not under our control. Ye Feng raised his brows when he heard about the arrest. Before he came here, he heard the principal and others saying that many students were missing, and other groups and organizations also had people missing. The Security Bureau has been involved in the investigation. I don't know if there are any results yet. I didn't expect that when I went to the old town in search of the treasure chest, I would hear such news. Have you arrested a lot of people since yesterday? Ye Feng had reason to suspect that the missing people were also caught by these two people. I've caught 7 of them from yesterday to now, all of them are in the early stages of military generals. I captured 10 of them, including military generals and martial arts masters. The two answered honestly and didn't look like they were lying. Then the two of them combined, only 17 people were arrested, and the number of missing people was more than 200 since they left. So you still have accomplices? Ye Feng said firmly. Yes, we don't know how many people they arrested. Anyway, we are responsible for arresting people. After arresting them, we can just send them to the deep hospital. Where is the deep courtyard? The Shenyuan is located deep in the old city. It's a big courtyard. After sending people off, it has nothing to do with us. We have all confessed honestly. If you have a lot of money, please spare us both. We promise to change our minds from now on and never do bad things again. The two of them begged for mercy, they were really afraid of dying here. If someone was killed in this remote old city, no one would know about it. Even if they were discovered, it would probably be a long time later. Haha. Ye Feng smiled softly. I don't care at all whether you will be bad people or not. There are many bad people in this world, how can I control them? Hearing Ye Feng's words, both of them were overjoyed. Is the boss so easy to talk to? However, Ye Feng's next words extinguished their rising hopes, making them feel cold from Tianling Gai to the soles of their feet. What I am concerned about is that you have just become hostile to me, and I am a person who always takes revenge. Boom! Huge and powerful energy and blood erupted from Ye Feng's body. The strong force was injected into his arms. The long knife in his hand drew a cold edge and slashed across the necks of the two men. The two of them covered their necks, blood could not stop gushing out, and they soon died. Deep courtyard. Ye Feng glanced towards the depths of the old city. Then he looked at the purple arrow on the ground. Ye Feng set off and continued to follow the purple arrow. Other side. After investigation, things have made some progress. Look at the surveillance footage from the technical department. The last place where this classmate Yang Wen appeared was on Baishun Street. Looking at the direction he was walking, it was the North City Gate. The same goes for this classmate. The direction he is heading to is also the North City Gate. The security chief, Feng Pinghao, said to Pang Qi and others. He showed several surveillance images at once, expressing basically the same idea, which was that he suspected that these missing people had all left the city. Not all of them are North City Gates, some are other city gates, but they express the same meaning. As for many people, the surveillance footage has not been found. The reason is that the technical department has not found relevant surveillance for the time being. According to this, they went out of the city. Maybe something unexpected happened and they lost contact. Pang Qi frowned slightly. Judging from the current information, it should be like this. Feng Pinghao did not dare to speak too fully. But I have given an order in advance not to leave Linhai City. They will not disobey. Also, the place where some of them last appeared is quite a distance from the nearest city gate, and some areas along the way are also very prosperous. Is there no footage there? Pang Qi said doubtfully, always feeling that this matter was a bit strange. I also consulted the technical department about this issue, and they said that the surveillance systems in many places are broken. Is it broken and not repaired? It used to be repaired, but then it broke quite frequently, so I gradually stopped taking care of it. Having said this, Feng Pinghao received another message. There is news from the city defenders that some people on the missing list have indeed left the city. Pang Qi nodded. Since he was sure, he should have gone outside the city. Maybe it was the first time I came to Linhai City, so I thought it was new, so I went out to see it. Others listened and accepted the statement. Just at this moment, Su Chanyi escorted a man covered in blood to Pang Qi. Principal, we have a new discovery. This guy was sneaking around and following a lone student. I just happened to catch him. He wanted to sneak attack the student, but I stopped him. I think it has something to do with this disappearance. At this scene, everyone's first reaction was not to look at the man covered in blood, but to cast all suspicious eyes on Feng Pinghao. The expression on Feng Pinghao's face was frozen. Old Town. Ye Feng followed the purple arrow all the way. Because he was attacked just now, Ye Feng knew that there was a mysterious force entrenched in the old city, and perhaps there were people watching in certain places. Therefore, Ye Feng's route forward was to choose those relatively remote streets, and at the same time, pay attention to whether there were cameras nearby. No matter how you walk, the purple arrow always starts from Ye Feng's feet, guiding Ye Feng in the direction. As long as you keep pointing in the direction specified by the arrow, you will eventually find the treasure chest. In this abandoned building. According to Ye Feng's experience, every time a treasure chest appears, there will be obstacles. But the abandoned building in front of me didn't look like it was dangerous. Ye Feng observed for a while and found nothing special, so he cautiously entered the building. Come to the third floor of the building. A purple treasure box was placed there quietly. Hey? Is it so easy this time? Ye Feng was a little surprised. However, Ye Feng still did not dare to take it lightly before opening it. Be wary of your surroundings, get close, and touch the treasure chest with your feet. Snap! You opened a purple treasure box. Congratulations on obtaining. The 5th level stealth technique Shadow Trace has been successfully understood. It went so smoothly. Same moment. Treasure chest clue. In the deep courtyard of the old town of Linhai City, a purple, high-quality, treasure chest appears. Please go and open it. Chapter 73. The treasure chest opened very smoothly, which surprised Ye Feng. What's even more surprising is that the new treasure chest clues are seamlessly connected. It's still Linhai City, the old city, but the location has been changed to Shenyuan. The new purple treasure chest is of high quality and can be used to unlock 2 items. The deep courtyard. It was the place mentioned by the fat and thin people I met before. Ye Feng didn't think about this first, but focused on the present. The items found in the purple treasure chest this time are very useful. Shadow and Shadow is a stealth technique. When it is used, it can condense the aura to the greatest extent, and a layer of light and shadow will be formed around the body. This light and shadow will imitate the nearby scenery at all times, allowing the user to blend into the environment and make it difficult for others to detect. To put it simply, it is like a chameleon, with the ability to camouflage and hide. But it is not just a simple visual deception. The light and shadow formed will affect the perception and judgment. The 5th level stealth technique can fool even the Wuzong realm. Only those with strong martial arts might be able to spot the flaws. For the current Ye Feng, it is enough. Ye Feng tried to use it. As the shadow trace was running, a layer of light and shadow immediately appeared on the body, completely wrapping Ye Feng's figure. In other words, no matter what you are wearing, or even the weapons you hold in your hands, it will not be affected at all and can be enveloped in it. Otherwise, every time you use shadow trace, you may not have to take off your clothes. Isn't that nonsense and tasteless? The 5th level stealth technique is obviously not so rubbish. Ye Feng tried to move around, and the light and shadow changed with the surrounding environment. If you look at it from an outsider's perspective, you will find that no matter which angle you are looking at, Ye Feng is integrated with the surrounding environment and has a high degree of concealment. Keep on the road and look for the treasure chest. Every time he looks for a treasure chest, Ye Feng is extremely excited to find something good. This time it's a fine treasure chest, with 2 unknown things waiting for Ye Feng. Along the way, Ye Feng used shadow to move forward quickly on the avenue, instead of choosing a secluded path like just now. Even if there are eyeliners around or some normal residents, they will not notice Ye Feng's existence. Come deep into the old city. A huge courtyard appeared in front of Ye Feng. Is this the deep courtyard? The purple arrow extends all the way into the building in front of you. Recalling what Fatty and Thin had said before, the people they caught would be brought here for business. What secrets will there be in the deep courtyard? Looking at this ancient compound, people feel as if they are seeing a man-eating beast with its bloody mouth open. Go in and take a look. Now there is shadow trace, which is very convenient for sneaking. Unless there is a powerful martial master inside, and he happens to encounter himself while sneaking, it is absolutely impossible to discover his existence. Before entering, Ye Feng let the Yunsang vine wrap around himself, forming a layer of defensive armor. In addition to providing a certain degree of protection, more importantly, it can fully cover the face and hide the face. To put it bluntly, even if there really is a martial master realm inside and it is noticed, Ye Feng is not afraid of exposing his appearance and causing unnecessary trouble. As for safety, you can step on the soul soldiers and evacuate quickly. Just be careful and you'll be fine. Ye Feng walked half a circle around the perimeter of the yard, and finally came to the backyard. Hey? What's the strange smell? Ye Feng frowned slightly. Looking over the courtyard wall, I could see smoke rising inside, and I didn't know what was burning. There is a tall stone pillar nearby, like a telephone pole, with several cameras mounted on top to monitor all directions. As you can imagine, there are people staring at the screen all the time, monitoring every move around them. If Ye Feng hadn't used shadow to hide his figure, it would have been much more difficult for Ye Feng to enter quietly. Now, it's simple. Ye Feng exerted force with his feet and easily climbed over the courtyard wall and entered the backyard. At this time, somewhere in the deep courtyard, there was a light curtain, showing many pictures and surveillance from various places. Many people were sitting inside, staring at the picture attentively. The person in charge of the direction of the backyard saw that the screen was as empty as before, with no special circumstances. He yawned and continued to follow. The daily work is simple, just responsible for monitoring a few places and reporting any situation in a timely manner. Little did he know, there was already a person sneaking into the backyard under his nose, swaggering around under surveillance. Ye Feng entered the backyard and looked at the surrounding situation. The backyard was quite large, with stone bricks on the floor and several large stoves, each of which was pitch black and had traces of burning. At this time, one of them was burning something, and the flames were billowing. The heat wave came in waves. No wonder you could smell a strange smell just outside the courtyard wall. It turned out to be the incinerator inside, burning something. One stove is almost not enough. I will probably have to start another one later. As the footsteps approached, a male voice sounded. Ye Feng followed the sound and saw 2 people, each dragging a corpse in their hands. The corpse was as pale as paper, without a trace of blood, or even a trace of life. Let them drag it along, and it was obvious that it had already lost its breath. Yanghui University. Ye Feng saw that one of the corpses was wearing the school badge of Yanghui University. When he was hunting sea beasts yesterday, he took a quick glance at this person and had an impression that he was indeed a student of Yanghui University. This person was one of the people on the missing list. He was captured and sent to the deep courtyard. He didn't know what he had gone through, but he was now a cold corpse. As for the other corpse, Ye Feng had no memory of it, and there was no school badge on it. It might be a missing person from another powerful group. The 2 dragged the corpse to the crematorium and threw it directly in. Sparks immediately flew everywhere and a crackling sound was heard. His movements are extremely skillful, and he obviously does this kind of thing frequently. After finishing their work, they left again without noticing that there was someone like Ye Feng watching nearby. What on earth is this deep courtyard for? Ye Feng's face looked a little cold. Without further delay, move on. From time to time there are patrols, working in pairs, following established routes. Monitoring, patrolling, it can be said that security has been achieved to the extreme. Even without the fat and thin people informing them in advance, from these phenomena alone, coupled with the burning of corpses, we all know that there is something wrong here. Ye Feng ignored these patrol officers and did not alert others for now. Follow the purple arrow and keep moving forward. Ye Feng had a hunch that the location of the purple treasure box must be related to the missing person, and everything would be clear by then. Gradually, we came to the central area of the deep courtyard. As we get closer to this place, the security becomes tighter. There are more patrols and more people walking back and forth. The surveillance above has no blind spots and is filming every corner. This is it. Chapter 74. There is a huge building in front, like a prison cell. At this time, the door was closed tightly and the windows were sealed tightly. The purple arrow extends into this building. How do I get in? Regardless of whether you push the door in or break the window, you will be noticed by the patrol guards nearby. Before the matter is completely clear, Ye Feng does not intend to expose it prematurely. If the enemy is in the light and we are in the dark, the advantage will be greater. Whether to fight or retreat, the initiative lies in your own hands. At this moment, the closed door was suddenly pushed open, and a person came out. This person was dragging a corpse in his hands, just like the two people he met in the backyard before. Just as this person came out, he turned around and was about to push the door back. Ye Feng took this opportunity and slipped in directly. Hey! The man scratched his head, his face full of confusion, turned his head and looked around, but found nothing unusual. At that moment, he always felt as if someone was passing by. Did you drink too much last night? Isn't it? It's only 7 times. Shaking his head, he stopped thinking about it, closed the door, and dragged the body towards the backyard. It's not that his perception is so sensitive, it's mainly because Ye Feng was too close to him just now. His intuition told him that something was wrong nearby, but unfortunately his strength did not allow him to discover anything. Ye Feng entered and walked on a wide walkway. There are studios on both sides of the corridor. In the several studios we passed ahead, there were several workers inside. They were using porcelain bottles, putting red pills into them, sealing them, and placing them on nearby shelves. Ye Feng glanced at it. In the middle of the porcelain bottle, there was a label with the words Holy Blood Pill. Even Ye Feng, who didn't pay much attention to elixirs, knew about this elixir and it was very famous. The holy blood pills on the market come in various specifications, 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade. Even the lowest grade is several times more expensive than other elixirs in the same level. The price is expensive, but the sales are very popular, and they are often sold out, which is quite strange. I heard that this is a kind of elixir secretly developed by Longteng Pharmaceutical Group. After warriors take it, it has few side effects and a high absorption rate. The effect is much better than similar elixirs. That's why they dare to sell it so expensively. They have a unique secret recipe that can't be bought anywhere else, and the effect is indeed very good. There is no false propaganda. After word of mouth spreads, the business is getting better and better, and the supply exceeds demand. But what puzzles Ye Feng is that there are actually workers in the mysterious deep courtyard of the old city who are sealing the holy blood pill. Longteng Pharmaceutical Group should not arrange its workshop here. As he got to know more, Ye Feng felt more and more that things were getting weirder and weirder. There was a vague hunch in my heart, and I had some kind of conjecture. It just depends on whether the next step is what you think. Ye Feng moved on. When I saw the workroom, the work content was different. There are many auxiliary ingredients and herbs in it, which have a strong medicinal smell, and there are machines running rumblingly. According to a certain ratio, the herbal supplements in a red liquid that have been processed in advance are put into the machine one after another. After complicated operations, red pills were finally rolled out from the opening below. They were actually refining elixirs. Judging by the appearance of the red elixir, it is definitely a holy blood elixir. It's just that the red liquid. Just then, a worker delivered another bucket of blood. It's human blood. This time, Ye Feng was extremely sure that this was human blood. It had just been drawn out and was still warm. The red liquid just now was probably processed using human blood in some way. The resulting liquid was something Ye Feng couldn't recognize for a while, and that was human blood. They are actually using human blood to make elixirs. Refining holy blood elixirs. All the questions are connected in a series, and every doubt has an answer. This deep courtyard is refining the holy blood pill for the Ruking group, and the so-called holy blood pill actually uses human blood as its core raw material. The source of human blood is the missing people. No wonder the effect is good. The blood of human warriors contains a large amount of qi and blood. After purification, various conflict problems are avoided. As a raw material for making elixirs, it is extremely suitable for humans, and the absorption efficiency is high. Take other elixirs as an example. They also use blood to make elixirs, but they use animal blood. No matter how they are purified, there is a gap between them and humans, resulting in a reduction in the absorption rate. Ye Feng could already imagine that there was a place responsible for drawing blood. Sure enough, as I continued to move forward, I saw the blood drawing room. Someone was lying on the bed in a coma, probably due to drug use. There are also locked bracelets and anklets, all made of special materials. Even if you wake up suddenly, you can't break free. The man in a white coat was drawing blood with a syringe, drawing a large tube at a time. It's not like draining all the blood at once, but drawing a suitable amount and then replacing one person. Keeping them alive first can continue to produce blood to supply them with blood. But this does not mean that sustainable development can be achieved in this way. No matter how powerful the warrior is, if he continues to smoke repeatedly, he will one day die suddenly. Most people don't even wait for sudden death. They accidentally pull out the problem during a blood draw and belch it out. We had no choice but to drain all the blood from his body and squeeze out the last trace of value. Those corpses that were dragged out, such as the student from Yanghui University, were in this situation. I thought that as a warrior in the early stage, I could draw a few more rounds, but I didn't expect that I would be beaten to death immediately. Such accidents happen from time to time, and they have long been accustomed to it. In their eyes, life is no different from dead things. Ye Feng continued to go deeper and finally came to an inner room. As soon as I got closer, I heard yelling coming from inside. That's nonsense. Who can't be arrested? You want to arrest this group of people who came to resist the sea beasts. Many of them are students. Don't you naively think that if some people are missing, they will just leave it alone? This voice was full of anger. Then another voice sounded, the voice was a little trembling, obviously a little scared. Mr. Tang, isn't this just to rush the work? So I was confused for a moment and thought that these people are full of energy and blood and are very good. If I catch a few of them, it won't have much impact. After all, some people died unexpectedly during the resistance against the sea monster this time. Maybe I didn't have time to count the number of people and mistakenly thought I was eaten by a sea beast. Who knows? Who knew you were so stupid? Hey! It doesn't have much impact? I have tried every means to cover it up, fabricate lies, and mislead them. Unfortunately, your gang of catchers are as stupid as you, and they actually acted at this critical moment and were caught. Now, all the lies will be exposed on the spot. Then what should we do? They shouldn't have come here already, right? Now that things have come to this, we can only avoid the limelight first. Please take out all those important documents for me. I will take them away now. There was a sound of rummaging through the room. Ye Feng also approached and saw clearly what was going on inside. There are two people in the room. One of them stood, a long-faced man with a very sinister expression. The most eye-catching thing was his hands, which were fair and slender and better maintained than women. He should be Mr. Tang. Another person had just dug out a large suitcase, which looked a bit heavy and contained a lot of things. The moment the box appeared, Ye Feng's eyes lit up. Purple light emanates from this suitcase. The purple treasure chest is inside. Chapter 75. Mr. Tang, all the important information is locked inside. This is a bald man with a fierce look on his face. His strength is at the martial king level, and he can be regarded as the highest person in charge of the deep courtyard. But in front of Tang Kun, he seemed to be groveling and treating him with caution, with a flattering smile on his face. The suitcase made of special materials was presented to Tang Kun with both hands. Mr. Tang, what should I do now? Baldhead asked anxiously. You know too much to let them catch you. Tang Kun's eyes moved away from the suitcase and looked at the bald man, with an unknown look in his eyes. Please take me with you. Bald Head requested. Well, then I'll give you a ride. Tang Kun's voice was cold. The bald man was just about to say thank you, but suddenly he felt that his words sounded weird. Boom! The qi and blood of Tang Kun Wuzong in the later period suddenly burst out, and he pinched the bald man's neck with his claws. The 5 fingers were like steel poured into iron. With a sudden force, the bald head's neck was pinched off. Done. In the eyes of the bald man, there was disbelief and a deep fear of death. He didn't expect that Tang Kun would kill him suddenly and kill him. After killing the bald man, Tang Kun shook his hand hard and threw the body aside like garbage. Only the dead will shut up. And you idiot, you have caused such a big disaster and still want to survive, you are simply wishful thinking. Tang Kun snorted coldly. At this moment, there was an extremely noisy sound outside. Quick! This building is suspicious. Let's rush in and take a look. Faintly, sounds similar to these can also be heard. It moves really fast. Tang Kun secretly thought, and pressed a button in the room. The wall inside moved and a door opened. This is the back door of the building. You can leave the building from here without having to go to the front door and meet people rushing in from outside. Tang Kun quickly walked out of the back door. Ye Feng also followed immediately. No. We have to take action. Tang Kun is very strong and very fast. He moves at extreme speed, and Ye Feng really can't keep up. Now one has to be surprised and have a chance to snatch the suitcase. Only by grabbing the suitcase can you get the purple treasure box inside. If we don't take action now and Tang Kun runs away, we don't know where he will put the suitcase later, which adds many variables. Lark Shuttle. Ning. The energy of the bailing shuttle shot out from his mind, condensing into the appearance of the bailing shuttle. Boo-hoo-hoo. The bailing shuttle quickly disintegrated and turned into 100 sharp shuttle knives, appearing behind Tang Kun. Roughly divided into 3 parts, first, shoots Yang Tang Kun in his vital parts. Second, attack Tang Kun's right wrist holding the suitcase. Third, approach the suitcase. Not good. The moment Ye Feng took action, alarm bells rang in Tang Kun's heart. He could clearly sense that the death crisis was rapidly approaching. He doesn't know what happened yet, but he knows very well that if he doesn't take measures, he will definitely be killed. In desperation, he took steps to dodge sideways. But he was shocked to find that the suitcase seemed to be stuck by something and could not be pulled away by him. There was also an invisible force pulling the suitcase in the opposite direction. There were also several shuttle knives as thin as cicada wings, about to cut off his wrists. Without thinking too much, he simply let go and gave up the suitcase like a conditioned reflex. Clang clang clang. His right hand could not be completely withdrawn, and the shuttle knife cut on his fingers, making a sound of gold and iron clashing. The hands that look like thin skin and tender flesh are just an appearance. He majors in fingering. The hardest part on the body is undoubtedly these fingers, which can be used as weapons. But other parts of the body were not as hard as they were, and several places were cut. Fortunately, due to movement, the vital parts were missed. At this time, Tang Kun jumped dozens of meters away, feeling terrified. If he hadn't reacted in time, he would have suffered more than just an injury. The enemy behind him really wants him to die. Ignoring the pain in his body, Tang Kun turned around suddenly. Over there, he saw his suitcase, held up by many shuttle knives, flying towards someone. The man was wearing a green armor and was wrapped so tightly that his face could not be seen clearly. Soul Master. And. Is this a demonized plant? Tang Kun still had a keen eye, and he could tell at a glance that what covered Ye Feng's body were demonized plants. But it doesn't matter. The main thing is that this person is actually a soul master. No wonder he can do long-range attacks. He also vaguely guessed how it came out specifically. It was a secret technique of stealth, and the level was still very high, and he had practiced it to the point of proficiency. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to suddenly appear without even noticing it. He had reason to believe that this person had been nearby since just now. He had to use force to show up. Tang Kun's thoughts are almost the same as the facts. It's not that Ye Feng deliberately revealed his figure, but that the stealth technique requires complete control of the aura. Once force is used, it means that it conflicts with the stealth technique. You can only choose one of the two, either maintain the stealth technique or use force, but at the same time the stealth technique will be broken. Unable to do so, he can still use force while sneaking. When Ye Feng got the suitcase, he wanted to open it immediately. But it was locked. And this box is outrageous enough, actually made of Suanhan iron. Controlling the shuttle knife to cut on it can only make a shallow mark. It takes some time to break open, and it cannot be done in a short time. This way, this way. Surround us, don't let any enemy go. Following the sound, Pang Qi, 2 other martial masters, and some other martial kings surrounded him from both ends of the building. Tang Kun wanted to escape, but was stopped. Principal Yang Hui and another Wuzong attacked him. In a 2-on-1 battle, Tang Kun was injured by Ye Feng in advance. Naturally, he retreated steadily and was quickly captured. At the same time, because he didn't know whether he was an enemy or a friend, the remaining Pang Qi led his people to get close to Ye Feng. Whoosh! The bailing shuttle came together, Ye Feng stepped on it, and soared into the sky. Soul Master! There is a Soul Master among the enemies, and he escaped. That shouldn't be an enemy. We have met this Soul Master before when we resisted the Sea Beast, and we fought side by side, right, Master Su? Su Chanyi, who was nearby, reacted and nodded with a strange expression. Yes, it was not easy for us to deal with the netherworld giant octopus at that time. It was this Soul Master who took action to kill it. At the same time, I secretly thought in my heart, why is Ye Feng everywhere? Speaking of which, I still suspect that the one who killed the Purple Thunder Ray was also this Soul Master. Pang Qi said. This is not a random guess, but the soul weapon used by the opponent is composed of multiple shuttle knives combined into one piece. As for the cause of death of the Purple Thunder Ray, there were many holes in its body, very much like being injured by those shuttle knives. If the guess is correct, then this person's strength is probably not inferior to them. Otherwise, how could one kill the Purple Thunder Ray and also injure a martial sect? Pang Qi looked at the wounds on Tang Kun's body, which were also caused by the shuttle knife.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.